Nice. Okay, let's see how this is gonna look. R/Wuhan flu. Can I be sick now? New vaccine featuring Elton John. Okay. Let's see. Looks like it sounds good. Okay. Technical difficulties, but overcame it.
It worked out.
It worked out in the end. Okay.
Norby, Oscar-winning sound mixer.
Yeah, that's just, it's literally just wire plug her in, or I've gotten pretty good at figuring out which. Not really. I'm just it's mostly just like trial and error. It's like that one didn't work. Okay, so screen tongue 6. Anything you want to open with before we get started?
We forgot to do it last time. Talk about like some movies we've seen.
Oh yeah.
Just like start off that way.
I already told you this. I watched The Big Short.
Yeah, that's very applicable to modern times.
Yeah, so for anybody who's living in the future right now, recently we just had the whole Reddit Wall Street Bets GameStop AMC thing just happened a few weeks ago, and I got really interested in researching it, and I was like, Wall Street Bets is cool. And my dad's like, oh, you should watch The Big Short. I'm like, what's that? It's like, it's a movie that came out in 2015. Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell,
Christian Bale.
It's about the 2008 mortgage crisis, housing crash.
Yeah.
And it's a cool movie. You should watch it. And,
yeah, that's really good.
Do you want to spoil it? I mean,
nah, don't spoil it. If we're not gonna get too in depth.
Just like a quick little.
I saw it in 2019, I think. It got me interested though in like economics, or at least the housing crisis.
Yes. Really, really cool movie. I was watching it with the context of like what's happening now and understanding the situation that's happening now, and it's honestly like watching the prequel to like, it's like this, what's going on now is like the sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
Especially like looking at the Wall Street Bets. Like here, I'll even pull it up. Well, actually, I won't. But the Wall Street Bets, like there's a lot of people on there who's like, yeah, my parents have been in the shitter since the housing crisis. This is revenge on the hedge funds.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I'm literally witnessing the sequel. It's really cool.
Yeah. I know the first time I saw it, I don't know why I watched it. I just heard people say it was good, and I was kind of curious, like, why is it called The Big Short? Is it just like, is it a pun?
Yeah, I had no idea what a short was.
Meant.
I had no idea. So I was like, that's just a really stupid name.
the movie teaches you kind of like a basic, but like basically like rudimentary, like
really rudimentary,
jargon.
Yeah.
You know, like credit default swaps. Fuck, what else is there? They use the word short a lot. Yeah. Fucking subprime mortgages.
About, what's it called? What is it called? It's like an alliteration, like not an EFT. Like those packages, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the bonds.
The bonds, yeah.
The fucking
I forget what they called.
The AAA rated bonds.
Yeah, the AAA rated bonds. Yeah. They explain what that is. This is like, because stocks are so complicated. I mean, just numbers in general are complicated. There's a lot of exposition, but they find a way to make it work for the most part.
Yeah.
They did a good job with that, I think.
It's not like exposition either, where it's like, okay, you're like explaining the story. Like normal people wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it's like
shit.
Explaining the context, so you can enjoy the story.
Like the scene, I like that. Margot Robbie fucking explains what, like, she explains like a credit default swap or something. I remember
some of that stuff was like kind of hit or miss for me.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like Margot Robbie's just reading the script. You know, she doesn't actually know about it or like really care.
Yeah, but that's like the point too. Like no one knows about this shit except like Michael Burry and like all the people who fucked over like normal people, you know?
Yeah.
And Michael Burry, speaking of that guy.
Oh man.
What a fucking god.
Any scene with Christian Bale, you know, Michael Burry in this movie is incredible.
And then you showed me that video. He fucking he made some money off GameStop too.
Oh yeah, Michael Burry. This is why this is the sequel. He made $200 million off of GameStop.
You think he sold? Did he have diamond hands?
I don't know. They didn't say, right? In the video, they didn't say whether he sold.
I don't think he had diamond hands.
No, I don't think so. I think he had smart hands.
Yeah.
Smart paper hands.
Dude's a fucking doctor and like high tier economist.
Yeah, man, super smart guy. People take his word as law, man.
Oh
Whenever he's talking about stuff, it's like he's predicting this. I was listening to a video this morning, like he's
Uh-huh.
predicting this index bubble. I haven't listened to the whole video.
Okay.
But I mean, he's just whenever any economist type person, any stock person, whenever they hear him say something, he's like, "Oh, you bought this stock," everybody just jumps on it.
Oh yeah.
They just do what he does.
I wish he said the GameStop thing a little earlier. That way I could have made some.
if we bought what's his name, Sam Hyde's Gumroad, we would have known.
Gumroad.
Gumroad. That's like his. It's like a. I don't even know how it works. I think it's like a Patreon. It's like a different version of Patreon.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm not too sure.
Because he's always saying shit about like wealth transfer, or he was saying like wealth transfer,
yeah,
stuff like that.
And he talks a lot about crypto.
And then when that came out, like the whole AMC GME thing, I was like, oh shit. Like he
yeah, I was like, oh, he's actually
he is
not
a smart dude.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's talking about a little bit.
A big part of it is being like in the background, not even in the background, like not being in the know. Is that, you know what I mean? Like knowing what's going on underneath underneath the surface, and he's kind of one of those people.
Well, first off, too, you just have to understand it.
Yeah.
And like even if you understand it, then you gotta like get inside, and it's hard enough to do one, let alone like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it helps that he's got a huge following.
Oh yeah.
You know, so people who respect him.
Does
are
he?
like,
How
check
many
this
like
out.
followers or subscribers does he have on YouTube?
It's kind of hard to tell because he's basically banned off of YouTube.
Oh,
But they have like a bunch of different like channels that kind of upload his content for him.
He has like 100,000 like.
Oh yeah,
Instagram.
he's easily got like hundreds of. Yeah, he's easily got
So-
thousands of views. Yeah, thousands of followers.
Yeah, it's pretty
All
interesting.
right, so yeah, Big Short.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Recommend
Yeah.
it, especially if you're interested in stock or learning about stock.
It's just a good movie too, though. It's pretty funny.
I think you know what I
the
really like
acting's
about
good.
stock stuff is like how anybody who's involved in like stock, like a big stock thing that's about to take place. It's almost like they're part of like a story. You know, it's like they're about to change the world somehow.
Yeah, it is like a movement.
Yeah,
it's like a
is.
financial
Like
movement.
in The Big Short, it kind of feels like that. This Wall Street Bets definitely felt like that.
It's like a real life Robin Hood thing.
Yeah, it's I'll have to show you some videos, man. I've been
Okay.
I've been watching hella videos.
You're sending me stuff about it all the time. It's like
I'm not even sending you like
the iceberg.
the deep. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
even sending you the deep stuff yet.
tip of the iceberg.
I'll probably talk about it on Wizard 50 sometime Friday.
Oh, definitely. This is like
yeah, I will.
current events.
What else? What other movies? Did you see? We
I
talked
saw
about
The Good, the
briefly.
Bad, and the Ugly. I told you about it.
Yeah, you said you
Really
liked it.
good. I see why like people like it so much. Like I enjoy it a lot. I like the music better than the movie, kind of.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
Shit ton of close-ups.
Oh, really?
Like you really get. It's weird too because it's like a western, but you get like emotions from the close-ups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not just like bland, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone says The Searchers is really good, but like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I get more like I feel more like what the characters are supposed to be feeling.
All right, I feel you.
And then like it's just directed really well in general. Like there's fucking scenes like you remember that scene in The Leopard with like the battle? There's literally like a fucking
Isn't the Civil War going on? at
yeah,
the same
there's like a
time?
fucking 30-minute like they're going to find like this thing and then literally they just like break from the like plot
Mhm.
to fucking show cool Civil War shit for like 30 minutes. It's
neat.
fucking crazy. Yeah. I think Quentin Tarantino have you heard of Sight and Sound? Like the
Never.
poll.
No.
It's like a poll they do every so often where they ask like directors, what are your top 10 movies of all time? And like Quentin Tarantino put The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly at number
Wow.
one. I mean, you can see it in his work.
He must have watched that as like a kid or something.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
like definitely, like
Yeah.
But
Like I feel like I would probably put like Watership Down like really high up, but it's
Watership Down. Okay.
yeah, just because it's such a I don't know, I really connect with it. I'm sure I don't know. I haven't watched it since I was like 15. Maybe if I watch it now, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, and two, it's just like about like it might not necessarily be the best movie, but like what you connect with most.
Yeah.
Because like if it was the best movie, everyone would put fucking 2001.
Yeah.
You know, and like I love 2001, but like it's not like my favorite movie of all
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
You know?
It's like what my dad's favorite movie is like 2001.
Oh, like as like it's the best movie or like he connects with it the most.
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay. Like if it's your favorite movie, it's your favorite
Yeah.
movie. But like you know, like people always do like top 10 best movies of all time, and it's
Yeah.
like just
I can see it from like an objective standpoint, sure, but if somebody says 2001 is objectively my favorite movie, it's like that's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's like just getting on the hype train.
Yeah, a little
you know?
bit. Yeah. Okay, so Good and the Bad and the Ugly. Anything else you want to say about it?
I've been I didn't get to see too much. Let me look back really quick.
I told you this. I saw Noche by what is his name? Gus Van
Gus
Sant.
Van Sant. Check out a lot of Gus Van Sant shit. Fucking great director.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it. So this movie's good. Black and white.
Yeah, talk about that.
I really like how he really tries to make it look like you don't know where you are almost. It's like there's not really any establishing shots. And everything's like really dark all the time, pretty much. There's a few.
Did
shots
it
in the
like
day.
confuse you at all?
No, I mean, it's a little bit confusing, but it's like I really liked it. I really enjoyed it because you still get the context of like what they're saying, and you kind of get what's going on, even though you can't really see everything. It's not like that totally. There's still some like establishing shots, but there's a few moments and sequences where it's like I can't really tell exactly what the geography of the place is, but I really like that.
Is it supposed to like feel like you're in a wandering type of state?
A little bit, yeah. Because the main character is like this gay guy, and he talks like a straight dude, so it's really funny. He's like he'll be talking about really gay stuff. Like, I was throbbing for this guy's cock. There's like some narration in there. It's kind of funny too. But it's a good movie. It's almost like, how would I describe it?
It's like a drama.
Yeah, it's like a drama. Some comedy, not a lot of comedy. It's almost like if you mix Clerks with like
a gay movie.
Yeah, like naked a little bit, but way less philosophical.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like Clerks if he was gay and it wasn't in a single day.
Okay. It sounds like a wandering movie over like the course of time.
A little bit.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting watch. It has some interesting techniques.
I need to see that just because I like Gus Van Sant.
Yeah, you might like it. Yeah.
Are there a lot of tracking shots? Just out of curiosity.
I think there's a few.
No.
I think there's a few.
Is it a lot of close-ups?
There's a lot of not a lot of close-ups. There's a lot of like medium shots for sure.
Okay.
And there's one scene that has a lot of close-ups.
Because like some of his movies have like it's almost like two different directors directed some of his movies. Like Good Will Hunting and then like Elephant seem very different.
Oh wow, he directed both of those?
Yes, it's very weird. Like
I want to see Elephant so bad.
Once you see Elephant and then you like check out Good Will Hunting, you're like, what the fuck?
No, I've seen Good Will Hunting, so
okay.
So like I get it, and I haven't seen anything from Elephant.
See, now Good Will Hunting, that's a screenplay movie.
Yeah,
it's not like a director's like film. It's not like a film.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like you could do that as a play. Almost.
Yeah, it's like a play. Like it's mainly like character performances and like just like witty dialogue. It's not so much about like a lot of like stunning visuals.
No, There's character arcs in there, but they're pretty small character arcs. You know, it's like finally. I mean, I haven't seen the movie in a while. So just from what I remember. Like looking back at the movie, I haven't seen it in maybe like 4 years. I don't remember there being like a big ass arc. It's just like oh, this character finally came around to doing this one thing.
I kind of disagree.
I mean, I haven't seen. I just don't
like you said, yeah, dude. When I saw
it.
Good Will Hunting, I fucking like showed it to my mom. I showed it to my dad. I showed it to my girlfriend.
They hadn't seen it.
I don't think my mom had, or if she had, it was like away. Like my girlfriend hadn't seen it. But like when I saw that movie, I'm like, holy shit, I was like showing it to everyone. And it's just like, I think the directing in there is more like about like, because there's like a decent amount of close-ups. It's more just to get like the emotion across.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people cry to that movie.
Oh, easily, yeah.
So like, especially that like the Robin Williams parts, like they get me kind of emotional.
Yeah, they do, yeah. I remember.
And it's a lot about just like the dialogue and Robin Williams being kind of like, not sappy, but like real. You know?
Just like really imparting wisdom on this kid.
Yeah.
Departing wisdom.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, maybe that's why I wanted to keep showing it to people, because it's like, it's very universal in the way like it makes you feel. I know that's like, I say that shit all the time. But like everyone can like relate to that.
Yeah, it's like a movie you can't go wrong with.
Yeah,
yeah. Really safe movie.
Yeah. And I like the way it ends too. It's kind of like it's not a cliffhanger, but it's like not complete resolution.
I think I remember the ending. It's been a while.
Now I'll have to show you Good Will Hunting.
Is it with Ben Affleck at the end?
Or
is that a scene?
No.
All right, we'll leave that. We'll leave that. All right, should we get into it?
It's fine. Let me see. I saw Superbad.
Yeah, you saw Superbad.
Superbad was fun. I actually like the first half of that movie better than the second half.
Really, I like the whole thing with Fogel.
Fogel's pretty
I
funny.
like his like B story. I just
With the cops.
yeah, I thought that was awesome.
The cops are just a bit like
It's a bit much.
they're
You know,
a
it's-
little too stupid. For
yeah,
me.
it's a little unrealistic. It's really unrealistic. But I really enjoyed how stupid it was.
I just love when like Fogel tries to act like whenever he's like either really pervy or trying to act like a cool kid. Like he sees him, he's like, "What's up, gangster?" When he does that, that shit's so funny. And then when he follows that girl in the fucking hallway,
yeah, that seems epic.
like imagine just seeing that, like the nerdy kid following like this hot girl in the hallway, just like staring at her ass or something.
Yeah, Fogel was easily the best character.
That's so
100%.
funny, dude.
Like Jonah Hill's hilarious, Michael Cera's also hilarious, but Fogel, oh dude, that guy just
Fogel,
took the
like
show.
he kind of steals the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Cera's a little boring, I think.
Yeah,
but, like-
he could have had a little bit more, but that's just how Michael Cera is. in
That's
that
like
movie.
his, yeah.
It's like his first role too. So you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Why is it his first? Probably.
I don't know too
I
much.
don't know.
I know
He
he's
was
in Scott
he was
Pilgrim.
he was also in Juno.
Oh, okay. Aside from that, though, I haven't seen too many of his movies.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, have you seen Fogel in anything else though?
Yeah, he's in Kickass.
Oh, okay.
The first Kickass is pretty good. The second one is more like a Marvel movie.
Yeah. I remember seeing the first Kickass when I was a little kid, and like the part where like one of them dies, like it like scared me.
Yeah, Kickass, I really liked. I still like Kickass.
Very violent.
I haven't seen the movie in a while. The ending is a bit over the top, but the whole like lead up to it is just like it feels like a very real superhero movie. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of people are
yeah.
like really sucking like The Boys right now. The whole like, oh, what would superheroes do if they actually existed? Like
Oh,
The Boys
okay.
is like, I think it's a you know it's all right. You know, it's a
Uh-huh.
it's all right satire. It's satire on the superhero movies right now, right? Like throwing in some like
okay.
realistic psychology in there.
Okay.
But like I really like Kick-Ass because it was just really in your face about it, you know.
Yeah,
And it was I really enjoyed it.
I haven't seen that movie since I was like 9
Shit, yeah, me same.
or like
literally- me
10.
too. Yeah,
I'll check
It's
it
been a
out
while.
again at some point.
All
Um,
right, I think we
Yeah.
should. Yeah, let's move on. All right,
that's like a good intro though. Talk about what you've
all right.
seen a little
So, let's start with Funny Games. 'cause I
funny
think you
games.
recommended that
2000.
first, yeah,
All right.
the 2007 version of Funny Games.
Okay, so I have a few things to say about this movie.
go for it.
So the first time I saw this, I was like in 6th grade, and like for whatever
You
reason,
were in the 6th grade when you saw this.
yes, and I watched it with my grandma.
What the fuck?
So here's like
What?
I would go to like the library and like check out movies and shit, and for whatever reason, I don't like the poster like on the DVD. For that's just funny. I don't think the poster's cool or anything, but for whatever reason, I picked it up, and I'm like, okay. And I thought it was just gonna kind of be like a horror movie
Yeah.
or like a thriller. I saw that like Naomi Watts was in it. I guess I knew who she was, probably from like King Kong or something.
Mm.
And so then I go home with my grandma. I'm like, "You want to watch a movie?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I put this on, and then I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
What was your reaction?
I thought
to
it fucking sucked, dude. I didn't get it. I was like 11, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I would think the same.
Especially the part where like,
thing. Did it make you mad?
I don't remember if like it made me uncomfortable. I know like
My dad.
Yeah.
He saw the original though. I don't know. I haven't seen the original.
the original is the same exact thing.
Is it like exactly?
So it's like a shot-for-shot remake.
Oh shit. Oh
The
my
only
God.
thing that's different are like maybe a few, like several lines here and there, just because
Okay.
of like translation
Okay.
stuff
All right.
and the language. And then like the part where Naomi Watts is in the bra. In the
Mhm.
first one, the bra is see-through.
Oh okay.
That's about it though.
Okay.
The music's even the same.
Really?
The fucking like,
Yeah.
But I remember,
Even, like the title sequence and stuff
Yep.
too.
yep.
And
I
it's
think it
directed
even
by the same guy, right?
yeah.
Okay.
He did because we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
All right.
And anyways, I saw it and I was just like, I wasn't into like movies the same way I am now. Like that part where like they just leave and then Naomi Watts just like sits there for like 10 minutes trying to get the shit. I thought it was really boring. I just didn't get what the movie was.
Yeah.
You know. So then maybe like flash forward like a year and a half ago, I heard YMS talking about it, and I'm like, or he said he really liked it, or he put it on one of his like top 10 lists or something. So I'm like, I need to check it out again. This is
Yeah.
maybe like a year or two ago. I think like a year ago.
Oh shit.
And I see it again, and I'm like, I liked it a lot more, and it fucking like made me feel weird. Like when they're like torturing the family, like I was like uncomfortable as hell.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is very effective.
Yeah.
Like it's effective in making you feel like it feels rotten inside.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't be doing that to them. It fucked with me. And then I was really thinking about it again, and then I watched the original version maybe like 4 months ago or so, and I'm like, holy shit, this movie's amazing.
Yeah. And so what was your reaction this time?
And then I watched it again, and it just like confirmed it. And then it like makes me like, I like watching this movie like over and over. Like this is the second time I basically watched the movie in like 4 months.
Okay.
I like wanted to see it again, even though I'd pretty much seen it very recently.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is like we were talking about like that science sound thing. I'd put this on like my top 5.
I
think this movie is very I'm not gonna say that. Like it's not
underappreciated.
This movie is very like underappreciated. It's very smart, and it says a lot about like cinema, you know, and like audience expectations.
That's a good way to
like,
put it. Yeah.
It messes with you, and there's like that famous quote like truth or cinema is the truth at 24 frames per second, right?
Right. Yeah.
Michael I'm just gonna call him Hanukkah. I don't know. He's Austrian too.
Oh,
he's
shit.
German. It's kind of fun. He's like, he kind of made like a joke to it, but he's like, cinema is a lie at 24 frames per second. And if you kind of think about the movie like that, it's weird, you know? It's like, you know what you're watching isn't real, yet you still let it affect you.
Right.
So I don't know. There's a lot to say about this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
I was really curious too, because like there's like a lot of fourth wall breaks.
Yes, sir.
I was very curious like about the way you were gonna react to this. Like whether you like it or not, I want to like be able to talk to you.
Okay.
Probably the way you feel about Buffalo 66, and I'm really sorry for not watching it yet.
Oh no,
I need to see it.
You're good.
I want to see it. I'm just fucking.
I'll say save it for the Vincent Gallo episode.
I know, but still.
Okay, so watching this movie definitely won me over. I was watching it. I was actually really impressed by this movie.
Okay.
Because I was watching it, and it's. Let me think about how I'm gonna say this.
So
I'm trying to think about what angle I want to come at it from first.
What'd you expect, just out of curiosity?
I didn't know what to. I knew it was gonna be kind of fucked up. I didn't know what to expect though. I kind of started to see where it was going, like by like around the catalyst part. It's not,
like
it's
when
not
they
really
start
like catalyst,
to
when they start to fuck with them like hardcore.
Yeah.
And you're really in the perspective of like the family. You're really in that perspective. And in many ways, here's how I'll tie it. I'll tie it to Irreversible. I'll tell you why. Okay. I haven't seen Irreversible all the way, but I've seen the first 15 minutes. I remember watching the first one. I was like, oh, that's really fucked up. And sometime later, I was listening to Jordan Peterson talk, and he's like, talking about like, oh, the shadow, like, you should allow yourself to like become dangerous, to like really become like a full person and like be able to help others. And I was thinking about that, and he's like, yeah, if you really want to engage with your shadow, it's actually easier to do than you think. And then I remember I watched Irreversible, that scene again, with that like information in mind, and tried to like watch it from like the perspective of trying to like enjoy what was going on in the first 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it's like, it works.
Okay.
Like I can 100% see why people enjoy stuff like that. It's weird, but that perspective is like possible.
So like when you try to look at it from the negative point of view,
yeah, it's like you can get into it.
It takes you
really,
over kind of.
Yeah, it's like really, it's like this really malicious feeling. And so like as I was watching this, I was watching it, and especially when the fourth wall break started to happen, I was like, and oh man, all right, all right. So hearing them talk, they don't really. I don't know. My mind is racing on this right now.
Just go for it. There's a lot to say about the movie. Don't worry.
All right, so the family doesn't really ask them like a lot of questions. Like if I was in the family situation, I would be asking so many fucking questions, like 100 miles per hour. They're just kind of like. But anyways, just because like understanding why they're doing what they're doing is so important to the movie. They don't really fully establish it, right? And I'm sure that's purposeful. But understanding that motivation is really important. And they kind of give you some clues, right? It's like, first of all, the one guy can break the fourth wall, right? Yeah. Also, they seem I'm not too sure. They seem like they're rich people. They don't really show you, but they seem like it. And they're also The one main guy who can break the fourth wall. He's wearing all white.
Peter.
Peter, yeah, Peter and Paul, right? Peter's wearing all white, completely, like his shoes, his shorts, his pants. He's wearing 2 gloves, right? Like in golf, you usually only wear 1 glove. These guys are both wearing 2 gloves, right? So that's interesting. And then Paul, he's wearing all white except like black pants, right? It's an interesting difference.
Yeah.
I was paying attention a little bit to the costumes as well. Like everybody else besides those 2 characters are wearing just like normal clothing.
Yeah.
Like what is it? What's the guy's name? Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. Yeah.
He's wearing like gray clothes. Naomi Watts is wearing like this normal dress. It's like blue.
Nothing like a blouse kind of.
And the kid's wearing just normal ass clothes.
Yeah.
And obviously like wearing all white. Like that's like what? That's like Clockwork Orange almost, or like it's kind of like milking away. Wearing all white has like it's very specific.
It's very pure.
I'm not too sure what it means yet. Yeah, it's like very pure. And so it's like I'm not too certain what that means yet, but like it's an interesting detail.
It's funny that you say that because the movie he made after this was called The White Ribbon. And like a big point of the movie is about like how white is like pure.
There you go. Yeah.
And like I think it's kind of like a juxtaposition there.
Yeah.
Because the movie's called Funny Games, right?
And like there's nothing funny about it.
Well, yeah, it's like sadistic basically.
Yes.
It's like funny in the way that like you like watching people suffer.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's like what like a lot of these movies are. Like a lot of thrillers, it's just like watching someone get tortured until there's like a payoff basically.
Right.
Like a fucking Saw movie or something. With the uniforms, I kind of think it's like they're like dressed to play golf or something.
Yes, they are.
And it's like they're kind of like playing golf with the family. Like that's how I kind of look at that.
That's a really good way to look at it.
And aside from them just like standing out, it's like they're teasing the family, or they're torturing the family in order to tease the viewer.
Yes. So you're going into it, and they start, they beat the shit out of they don't beat the shit out of him. They just like they wound him. They cripple him basically. Yeah. So he can't do anything. The dad, like the captain, right, of the household has been crippled, and they've kind of cucked him in a way. He can't do what he's supposed to do as the man to defend and protect his family. So it's like he's been emasculated. So it's like as the viewer, you feel the same way because you want, he's the one who's supposed to be helping them, to save them.
Yes, yeah.
In essence, but that possibility has basically been tarnished. And now you have two young men, which is like dangerous. Like young men are the most dangerous. Some of the most dangerous animals on the planet.
Yeah, basically, like they're in their like peak physical shape.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're like in their peak like mental like deteriorate. Like
yeah.
They're fucked up in the head right now.
Yeah. But when I started to think about this movie differently was definitely around the first point where he breaks the fourth wall. It's like, you're like he turns to the camera and is like, oh, you're rooting for these guys, or you're rooting for us, and you're probably rooting for them, or some shit like that. And then I started thinking about it differently. I was like, okay, he's the one breaking the fourth wall, and it's almost like it's telling you to like, it's not necessarily that it's telling you to do this, but in a way it's almost telling you to look at this from like different perspectives. But not just that. I mean, before I continue on that, I want to talk more about like my mind. It's all over the place because he doesn't give you. It's good. It's like a puzzle, right? And I'm trying to figure out the puzzle. What I really like about the characters is that it's almost like they are rich. They're clearly very smart. Like they're talking about like physics, and they're talking about like philosophy and stuff.
Classical music.
Yeah, classical music. Like he's talking to him and he's like, why are we doing this? It was like, what's his name? Paul, or Paul is the Tubby.
Paul is Tubby. Yeah.
Paul's Tubby. He's like, yeah, Paul is just absolutely bored with existence. And like I thought that was an interesting note. I don't know if that's the genuine motivation behind it. But I think it's interesting, especially learning about like some rich people and stuff like that. Like a lot of rich people, they have it all, but sometimes they're still just so unhappy, and so the only thing left to torture them is literally the pain of existence. They don't have anything to build towards.
It's like they're on like a dopamine rush all the time.
Yeah, and so it's like, and I mean, just rich. I mean, I've also heard a lot of stories about rich people and like some conspiracy theory videos. Like there's some conspiracy theory videos that talk about like how rich people can like kill somebody and like pay somebody to just like sweep it under the rug, and they just get away with it because they're so rich. I don't know how true that is, but
you can imagine it.
But like adding that context of that potential truth to this movie it really adds to it, because it's almost like these characters are like it's almost like they're not even human in a way, because it's like they have everything they need. It's like they don't have like the human struggle, you know. They just like kind of exist.
The characters are definitely pawns.
Yeah, it's really
Like it's basically like interchange any rich family kind of.
oh yeah.
Like that's something I've heard, or I'm pretty sure like people criticize the movie for, is like the characters like aren't characters. They're like symbols.
A little bit.
Like it's interesting too
which
because
characters are they saying are the most like symbols?
well, no, I think people like criticize the movie because like first off they don't get it, because it's interesting the way you like approach it too, because I've seen it like several times. This is the first time you've seen it. The first time you see it, you kind of approach it like it's going to be more of like a normal movie, like it's a normal structure. Like you see the characters for who they are, and like when they're getting tortured, you're like, okay, these people are getting tortured. But then after you've seen the movie the first time through, and you're like, okay, there's something off about this. Every time I watch it, I look at the characters as like symbols, you know. So like the family's obviously like a symbol for like the bourgeois.
Okay, yeah,
you know?
I can see that. Yeah,
And it's almost like in a way like it's kind of like a takedown of that. You know, it's like a revolt against like the rich, but also too, it's almost like the family represents like a classical characters in like a generic movie.
just
you
like,
know,
yeah, really nuclear
'cause,
family
like,
type stuff. Yeah.
You got it was like a vacation home, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if they said it explicitly. They say it in like the log line or something.
They say like, oh, we're finishing up unpacking.
But it's
shit,
like
yeah.
the way I view the movie now that I watch it is like they're just like pawns in like they're like a satire of cinema.
I can see.
So
that,
like
yeah.
you were saying earlier how like the dad's like emasculated and he's called the captain. It's like maybe in a generic movie, like when something like this happens, like the dad's the hero.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, normally he would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one that comes through and he saves like the kids. He saves the wife. He's the captain.
Right.
You know. But the first person that like aside from the dog, the first person that gets hurt is like the dad, and he's completely helpless, and he literally just has to stand there and watch his like wife get fucking. She has to like take off her shirt. He watches his son get killed. Like his whole family just fucking fall apart, and it's like that's like a satire on like the male role in like film, I think.
Yeah, it's really well. It's satire on it, but it's also like, it's like reverse. It's like rejecting it. You know, it's not even like just making fun of it. It's like it's rejecting it almost. It's like it's forcing the audience to be like here's what you think is gonna happen, and we're gonna do the complete opposite. And for anybody who's like doesn't get it, they're just gonna get mad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like
They're just gonna get mad.
it's like they're telling you though we're gonna do the opposite.
Yeah.
They're like looking at you and saying like, this is what you want to happen, and this is what you've been trained to have happen, and I'm gonna do the exact opposite just to make you mad. Like the movie's really made just to like spite an audience.
To spite an audience who's not with it, you know, somebody who's not with it.
I think to spite every audience though, because like the first time you watch the movie too, like you're still thinking it's like characters, right? Then when you revisit it, that's when you realize like they're not characters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So
I really like the fourth wall breaking stuff.
oh yeah, that stuff's great.
That for me was like, all right, so these are rich people. Well, I mean, they're not. We don't know if they're rich people. I'm assuming they're rich.
They're rich.
I'm assuming they're. I mean, especially just they're clearly also in this world, right? If they exist in this world and they are characters and they're people in this world, which in a way they almost aren't. I'll get into that in a second. But let's say they are characters and they're real people in this world. They definitely come from like a rich home, and they're clearly like sociopaths. You know, they're like psychopaths. It's like they're so rich they have it all.
Are you talking about Peter and Paul?
Peter and Paul.
Okay.
Peter and Paul. Yeah, Peter and Paul. They're so rich. Like the material wealth is like they grew up with it, you know, and they don't have that.
Okay.
I mean, that's where I'm coming at it from with these characters.
That's I kind of. So like the family, they're kind of like a pawn, right? But they're the closest thing to reality that the movie has to offer.
Yes.
The brothers, like, okay, I see like their struggles, the struggles of like the family as like that's real. That's like what a film is supposed to make you feel. Like when they're getting tortured, it's really uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
the most like disturbing scene in the movie is like they throw him on the bed and then he like steps on the dad's leg and he just screams. And it just makes me
You
feel
mean the couch?
Yeah, he's on the couch. And they like step on his leg and he just like screams in agony.
Yeah.
And that's like real. That's like what movies like have you feel, right? Peter and Paul, especially Peter's almost like the director. He's separated from the
I
world.
Can see that.
You know, he's like he basically gets to do whatever he wants, just like the director gets to do whatever they want. And like he gets to like rewind the movie. He gets to that'll be we'll talk about that. But like he isn't like you can look at it either way where like he's the real thing or the family's the real thing. But they're definitely like two different subjects.
So it's really that's where it gets a little bit complicated because it's like you view these characters as like real people in this world, but as Peter starts fourth wall breaking, like there's something in my mind I was like, oh, it's almost like these characters are like Peter specifically, it's almost like they're a god in a way. It's like almost they understand they're in a movie, you know, and it's like it's almost like they're doing this, they're playing like funny games because they know they're in a movie.
Well, like Peter is like he knows it's a movie.
Yeah, he knows it's
but
a movie,
no one else does.
Yeah.
And then that's when it brings in that whole question about like it just like brings back to the point that like movie is or film is like a manipulation. You know, like
it's a really big concept, honestly.
That idea that like
concept
cinema is truth 24 frames per second is really broken down into like no, like everything you're seeing is like staged and like an act, and it just like it juxtaposes like it feels real because of like how authentic it is, but he's reminding you like no, it isn't.
Yeah,
it's weird. I'm not good at explaining it.
It's all right. I think I get what you're trying to say. It's
what do you think I'm trying like?
I feel like what you're trying to say. It's almost like it's rejecting what you thought movies could be. You know, it's that's why people don't like it because it's like the only people who are really gonna like this movie are people who understand movies.
Yeah,
a normal audience member will never get this movie unless they put the time into research, like story structure, even like philosophy and psychology in a way. You know, it's like there's a lot of context you need to really like this movie.
You have to like understand what it's going for.
Yeah,
it's definitely not like it's really going to like try and piss you off the first time you see it.
This movie, honestly, it pissed me off a little bit at first, but when all that stuff started coming at me, I was like, this movie's trying to do something a little bit more than
you
just
got what
piss
it
me
was
off.
going for too. Like I feel like if I showed this to my mom or something, my mom would be like, why?
Yeah,
you know, like, or you said your mom walked in on it.
Yeah, she was like, oh, this is horrible. I'm like,
exactly.
I was like,
exactly. That's what is he wants you to. That's what the intended emotion is of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the movie, like Peter's literally speaking to you and saying like the way you've been taught to watch movies is wrong. You know, and like he's kind of like insulting the audience, which is another reason like you insult your audience, they're kind of like, what the fuck? You know, but he's telling you like the way movies are made is inherently kind of like stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like trained to like be a dog that like consumes this shit. You know? And I don't know, I really love that. Like it really makes me kind of think about movies differently. Yeah,
after he said that, when he did the fourth wall break, I really started trying to look at the movie from their perspective. Like I said, like who are you rooting for? Like looking at it from the perspective of like rooting for those guys and getting into their perspective, like where they're coming from. And you really start looking at it from like I mean, it's really apathetic the way they view like, you know, treating these people and treating life.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
But it's also like it's very like smart in a way, you know. I mean, they're not smart. I mean,
it is smart.
This is where it gets hard to talk about because it's like they're very smart, but it's like how they have like zero like moral intelligence or like social intelligence. Well, they have social intelligence when it comes to like manipulating people. When it comes to like being a genuinely like good person to somebody, they can't. It doesn't seem like they can really do that. Like,
or do you think that they're incapable of doing that, or do they just choose not to?
I mean, I don't know. Because what I've seen in the movie, they aren't really capable of being genuinely good people to others. for very long. It's like they pretend to do it and they can do it for a little bit. At least that's how the movie made it seem. You know, they didn't know what they were doing wrong. You know, like they literally were just like, it's almost like they're socially retarded.
I feel like I don't think that just because I've seen it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like they know what they're doing is wrong,
But they're just fucking.
and because they know it's wrong, it almost makes them more like psychotic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, when something, it's like when you're a little kid and you know something's wrong and you almost like push it further to like try and piss off your parents or something.
Yeah.
You know, like the audience members are watching this and they're like, I know this is wrong. And then Peter comes in and he's like, you're rooting for them, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, like, I know you're rooting for them. And that's almost just like spitting in their face.
Yeah.
It's like, I know. You know I know that you know that I know that I'm treating them like shit.
Right.
And I know that too, and I'm just going to keep doing it to spite you.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally this conversation so far has really just come down to that whole scene where he breaks the wall.
Yeah.
It's
such a game changer for the movie. For me, that was a game changer. I was like, there's something more to this movie. Yeah, let me see the audio.
The first time he does it, like, did you notice the first time he did it? The first time he does.
All right, that's good. What's that?
Did you notice the first time he did it?
The first time I noticed he broke the fourth wall was when they first went in that living room and they sit down, and he kind of
okay.
I think that's the first time he breaks.
He
the
says
fourth
you're
wall.
rooting for them.
Yeah.
So
isn't that it?
The first time he does it, technically, he doesn't say anything. They're looking for the dog, and then he turns back at the camera and he winks.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch.
And
that.
then like
I didn't catch that.
No, it makes sense though, because like you're not expecting that, right? Because the movie's like, a big thing about Michael Haneke is hyper realism. You know, like it's supposed to like feel just like everyday life kind of, and then all of a sudden you're having something like magical realism, like the fucking fourth wall break, and it just like, at first it kind of feels out of place, which is why I think it really blends well too, because the movie isn't comedic or anything.
No,
like it's basically like hyper realism mixed with like the director saying something right to you, and that just works really well.
Yeah,
like the movie is no doubt effective.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's no person who watches this movie and is like, that wasn't that disturbing.
No,
like it has a profound impact on people. That's why it's like so divisive too.
I really got, and the acting was awesome.
Oh, the acting's great. The acting's fucking phenomenal.
Dude, when the kid was holding the shotgun up to Peter, that is such a look of terror, man.
Dude, the kid has like fucking tears streaming down his face. He looks like his parents just got fucking killed. Like, he's terrified.
Like, that's genuinely how I think a kid in that situation would look. That kid did an awesome job.
Just the way he looks too, it just makes me think like, I feel so bad for him. Like, it's literally like just like going up to someone and just like bullying them and torturing them just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
And like, if you're that person, you're just thinking like, why are you doing this to me? And I just get that emotion from that kid.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, it sounds kind of fucked up.
No, it's not. It's not, because that's what the movie's going for, you know?
I really liked how horrified he looked. Like, it genuinely sold it. You know, I was like, wow, this is... They just did such a good job. The acting, you know.
This movie really, like... It works on another level, too, because I'd say it's a horror movie. That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really there's no real other genre that I mean, on IMDb, I think it says it's a crime movie. That's bullshit. It's not really a crime movie.
I can see it as I kind of thought of it as a crime movie. There's definitely more horror than crime. I see it as like, you know, watching a crime happen.
It's a crime in that regard. Like in a regard that like fucking the Manson murders are a crime. But it's still kind of like got a horror element to it. Oh fuck. Okay, so most horror movies, just the average horror movie, whose side are you on?
Obviously on the good guy. Good guy
the
side.
Villain?
No, I mean depends what movie I'm watching. If it's like a shitty horror movie, then like the villain.
The villain, right?
If it's like a good horror movie, then the main characters.
Or I mean, okay, maybe like something like Alien.
Alien. You know, you're on the side of like Ripley.
But that's also like a really well-made movie.
Yeah.
I think like in general, it's kind of like, okay, I want to see like Jason Voorhees like decapitate someone's like dick or something.
Yeah.
Like in this, it's like most horror movies, you're kind of like rooting for the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And this does a good job because like it makes you like empathize with the family.
Yeah.
Even though the villain's right there kind of being like real suave and stuff, you still care for the family. And that's like really smart. Like I feel that goes over most people's heads.
Yeah, I started off really caring for the family. And then when he said that, it was just like I didn't root for them necessarily, but I started to really enjoy their characters a lot more.
So you're a sociopath.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, and then that's what the movie does too. Like the more you watch it, the more you start to like understand like Peter and Paul. And then that's when you kind of get on the side of the filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And then it's like the whole Joker thing. Mm-hmm. You start thinking like a psychopath.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like the movie manipulates you so well.
Yeah, it's really you know, and some people aren't. Some people are gonna be too afraid to go that route. You know, just like I know people psychologically.
People don't want to do that.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, but like I'm not. You know, I'm not saying like I'm not afraid to do it because it's like, oh, I'm so tough. It's like because I want to understand movies, and to do that, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you definitely think about it.
Yeah.
It's also too like the way like someone who's really interested in like filmmaking, like a filmmaker thinks about it and like an audience member thinks about it.
Right.
You know, like this isn't a movie you take to like see with your family and be like, oh, the bad guys or the good guys aren't like they aren't succeeding, but they're gonna get it. You know.
Yeah.
Like there's not that third act like fucking. What's the opposite of Dark Knight of the Soul? There's not the opposite Dark Knight of the Soul. You know.
Yeah.
There's no redemption.
If you do have like a Dark Knight of the Soul that's really on a high point, and your movie has to go down.
It's like there's no this and then this.
Yeah.
There's like a really quick up and then just down.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a bit of an up.
No, when she kills him. When she shoots Paul.
Yeah.
But
they kind of reject it.
Before we get there.
Dude, oh man. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that scene.
This movie is almost like we should do like a commentary for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I would like to do that.
Because there's like some lines that I remember watching and I'm like, this is like really important. Mm-hmm. And like right now I just don't remember them because I like watched it several days ago. Mm-hmm. But there's some really subtle lines at the beginning too that are kind of like you see the movie again and you're like, that's like a joke. Huh. That's like an inside joke. Like I said, I don't really remember them, but there's something they say near the beginning where like Peter says something about a game.
I think I know what you're talking about. There's Naomi Watts. She's trying to kick him out. She's all like,
"Are you guys playing?
I don't want to play any whatever game you guys are playing."
Yeah,
they're kind of like what?
Yeah, like
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. I feel like there's some stuff they did there that I didn't catch.
There's this movie's like great for watching a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Like it. That's why I think too. Like there's so much to catch from this movie, and I'm surprised that not a lot of people really talk about it. Like, there's a Criterion collection for it, but even then, the special features aren't like, there isn't too much. This movie, like, says a lot about, like, cinema, yet people don't talk about it too much.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I guess most people probably just didn't like it because of how it made them feel.
Oh, yeah.
You really have to be willing to, like, ditch your perspective to look at it from several different angles. Like, looking at it from Peter's perspective, I mean, like, I almost see him as, like, a god, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
He understands what this universe is. He understands like that the people he's torturing are just actors in a way, you know. It's like he understands he's entertaining people.
Yeah,
I like that aspect where it's like he's like it's almost like he's tortured himself in a way to like just constantly repeat this movie. I almost feel like maybe that's why he made it twice.
Because he does it. Oh,
you know, it's like he has to do this role over and over.
In a way, the director is like Peter, because like at the ending implies that they just do this over and over. Yeah. Just like the way they recycle movies like this. Yeah. You know, like every year you have your shitty thriller that comes out. Like, you know?
Yeah, this movie came out 10 years after.
10 years after the first one. But like each year you have like that shitty thriller come out. That's just like how they go from torturing like Naomi Watts to the next family, you know? And it's really funny how the director made it 10 years later because he's like Peter again.
Yeah.
You know? He's being Peter to people.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how I see that character. It's like, I wonder if Peter knows that. Like, does Peter have a life outside of? I mean, he doesn't. His life is literally contained to this movie. You know, it's like he's doomed to live only in this moment in this house.
Well, he's not doomed.
I mean, it's like he's doomed in that like, can a character live outside of a movie? You know?
No.
Exactly, right. It's like
because a movie's fake.
because the movie's fake, right?
Yeah.
He only exists when he's being acted as in this character. It's like the Peter like character, the character Peter is like he's doomed. It's almost like he knows it in a way. So it's almost like he's taking it out on these people. He's like might as well like really but I don't know, that's where it gets complicated because that's where it's like that's where my brain starts to break, you know. It's
I don't think Peter has any pain in his body. Peter is like an immaculate being.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think he does it because like he's tortured. Because there's that whole line you were talking about earlier where it's like, yeah, he's a drug addict. Yeah, his parents. The truth is he's white trash.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole like. So like in movies, like whenever there's a serial killer, you're trying to find the motive, right? And I think that line's poking the fun at like every movie has their motive. You know, like these guys don't have a motive.
Yeah.
Their motive is the fact that they just like exist within the film.
Yeah.
And they're there to torture these people. There's no like dawning reason like, oh, I was like a failed abortion or something.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, that makes me the reason why I say it like that just because it reminds me of especially when you brought that up. It reminds me of the line where he says like, you know, he's dealing with the pain of existence. It's like that's such like a rich.
It's a cliche.
It's a cliche, but it's like such a rich person, super wealthy concern. Because when you don't have to chase material wealth or material anything, there's nothing left for you to deal with but your own existence.
You know what? That's actually a good point because whenever I hear that line, I'm like, he's just putting it in there because that's like a cliche for like what they do in some movies where it's like, I'm a serial killer because there's no meaning to life.
Yeah.
Like that's bullshit.
I hate that shit. That shit's
You were
so
telling me
stupid,
about that, or I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, like I see what you mean. Like I thought it was just like a joke towards that, but then if you do feel like look at it through like that whole bougie perspective, it's kind of like once you reach a certain point in life, there's like nothing else. It's like why you don't want to live forever.
Yeah,
kind of.
it's like the whole. Once you're rich like that, or you've got all your goals right, and there's no other goals you want, like, what are your options? Like you can kill yourself. You can choose to like meditate and like try to do stuff like that, or I mean I don't know, or you can go like say fuck it and just do it literally whatever you want. That's almost like how it feels with these characters. It's like it's almost like they've had that perspective since they're like little kids, just like doing whatever they want because they have so much wealth.
It's like
they're clearly psychopaths.
They got everything. They get everything they want.
Everything they want. Yeah, and it's like that has warped their perspective so much. Like even just, even just the part where it's like they really want the eggs. It's like it's clearly that they're there to kill them. At first, I was thinking, oh, these guys are so rich and spoiled that they just they expect it to be handed to them. And that's what I thought at first, but then it becomes clear that they were there for to kill them.
That was the setup.
That was the setup. Yeah.
But that's like a good scene on like hospitality too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because like, in a way, it's something so stupid, fucking eggs.
Yeah.
Yet like it gets people upset.
But it wouldn't have mattered anyways. They still would have killed them. They really make it seem like they would have stayed there to kill them anyways.
Well, yeah. Like you said, that's kind of like a catalyst for the movie in a way. Like that gets them in there. But I think of it too. It's just like it shows like how humans aren't like. There's things that just get to us, because he keeps asking for the eggs and like they're rich. Like if they have to go to the store to buy eggs, it's not going to like put them out or anything, but yet it still like pisses you off.
Yeah.
Like when people impose upon you, even if you don't directly say it, like in her mind, she's thinking like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Just fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want you here, obviously. But like, she doesn't say that. And that's the way people feel like when they're imposed upon. Like, I don't really know how much that has to do with like the overall theme of the movie. But it makes me think about that.
Yeah, it's a really good scene for like that whole like idea, that whole concept, that whole being imposed upon,
like manners,
yeah. Like just proper manners. Like they don't take no for an answer,
They really like manipulate her.
Yeah,
kind of.
Well, not even they don't want to say they manipulate her, but they really push her. They really just keep pushing her and pushing her.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like she doesn't actually give in. She's just like no. She gets fed up with it, and she leaves.
And then that's when like the Tim Roth comes in,
yeah,
and
then it goes down the shitter.
Yeah. What do you think when or just with the whole eggs thing too? There's something really gross about those eggs on the floor. I don't know. Did you feel that, or did you get that, or?
I just thought. I mean, yeah, eggs are gross in general.
Okay.
So I was like, I wasn't thinking it was gross. I was like, oh,
There's
fuck,
something
somebody has
just
to clean it.
really gross about those eggs just sitting there.
What's that one egg quote? Like to make an omelet, you have to crack a couple eggs or something like that.
Yeah,
I wonder if
that could be like a line.
I wonder if that's played in here at all. Like if that phrase has any relevance or can be connected to this in some way.
Think about it for a moment.
You probably can.
Say it again.
To make an omelet, you have to crack a couple eggs. To make an omelet. So what's the omelet being made here?
So you could look at the omelet as the movie.
The omelet's like,
that's really like generic, I think.
Yeah.
But you could look at it like that. And then like to make a movie, you always have to have like martyrs.
Right.
And then Naomi Watts, Tim Roth, the kid are martyrs for like the movie.
I do see it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the omelet is the whole movie.
I think that's very basic though.
No, I'll tell you how it works. It's like I'll tell you.
I'll tell you how it works.
To have this entire situation happen. Okay, I mean, assuming that these characters were literally just there to get eggs and then leave. They make it seem like they're kind of there to kill him anyways, but let's just say for
sake of the argument.
For the sake of this argument, they were there to get the eggs and then go.
Okay.
Literally the only reason why the omelet happened, which happens to be the rest of the movie after the catalyst, was because of the cracked eggs.
Oh,
so that the rest of the movie could happen.
There you go.
To have the omelet, you had to crack the eggs. So that's the connection.
that makes sense. That's like if you wrote that in a review or something, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. That's not like too far fetched.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like the whole thing at the end too, where like, doesn't he ask for eggs again?
Yeah.
At the end
for the new lady.
So like for another movie, you gotta like crack some eggs.
Another egg. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it makes it that really clicks. I mean, I don't know.
No, it does. Like, it does make sense.
Okay, good.
No, like,
but
I get what you mean.
If they were there just for the eggs, if they were there to kill him anyways, it was like, then it's regardless. You know, it doesn't really make it. It would have happened anyways. It was doomed to happen.
That's like a good way to describe the catalyst of a movie.
Yeah.
Like the movie is the omelet, and the catalyst is where you got to crack the eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so there you go. This movie just like makes me think so much about like screenplay structure too.
Yeah,
because like we're basically taught like successful movies, there's like a way to tell a story, you know? And this way of telling story, like there's like research done that shows like it's effective.
Right.
Yet this movie comes in and basically like, not that way isn't effective, but it makes fun of that.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a filmmaker's movie.
Yes, it's like that's why people don't like it too.
Yeah, it's any normal audience member is really not gonna. I mean, I already said that, but
no, it's
I genuinely see this as like a movie that film students, film buffs, anybody who understands movies should watch this movie, even if they end up not liking it. Even, like if you don't like it, I'd like to know why you don't like it. I almost feel like if you don't like it because of how the movie made you feel with like the family, that's like, to me, that's like weak. You know, that's like,
yeah,
that's a bit weak for me.
I was gonna say, like, if you don't like it because of the emotions it stirs up in you, like
you're not coming at it from the right. Like you're letting this movie manipulate.
I want to know if people have problems with like the whole fourth wall breaking stuff, or like the way it's structured. Like, I don't want like to know that like this scene makes you feel bad, because that's the exact point of the movie.
Yeah. So why do you thinking about that, like, why do you think he chose to break the fourth wall in this way?
Like, are you talking from like the director or Peter?
From the director. Why did he choose to break the fourth wall in this way?
First, it's like a style thing.
A little bit, yeah. It comes. I don't want to say it comes out of nowhere.
It's a little.
It's like it feels like it comes out of nowhere, but it still works. You know, it doesn't feel like what the fuck was that? It was just kind of like, oh, that's how it felt with me.
It surprises you.
It surprises you, but it still works.
It definitely catches you off guard.
Yeah. Really started to think about it differently after that.
Well, yeah, think about it for a moment. I think in one way, like we kind of said, it's like he's directly telling the audience. Like that's like,
yeah, it's almost like
he's like it's like exposition in a way.
Yeah, this is like a movie where he really has to hold your hand to explain the concepts. It's not even like he's explaining it to you. It's like he gives you just enough information so you can really figure out what this movie actually is about. I mean, because it's like if the fourth wall breaks weren't there, you would not know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, this is just a fucked up movie.
See that the movie, I almost feel like the fourth wall breaks were like
they need to be there.
They're like they're from the beginning. Like when he got the concept for this movie, I think he thought that. Because if the fourth wall breaks aren't there, like it's just torture porn.
Yeah.
And the movie like is substantially less.
Yeah, I think,
which is crazy too, because that makes the movie go from like, in my opinion, like perfect to like just like it's like kind of irreversible in a house. Like
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I feel like when he thought of the idea for this movie, and I don't know if he thought this way, but I feel like he thought of the fourth wall breaking stuff first. He's like, you know, like he had that idea and structured it that way.
Oh, he definitely had to, because like the Dark Knight of the Soul or like redemption scene where she shoots Paul,
yeah.
Peter, no wait.
Peter and Paul. You said Peter was the...
God. When she shoots Brady Corbett.
When she shoots Tubby.
Tubby, yes. When she shoots Tubby, that's like the scene like I think everyone remembers. Mm-hmm. They're like, did you see Funny Games? Is that the movie where they rewind it? Yes. You know?
That
like,
scene... Dude, I literally actually yelled during that scene.
You're like, whoa!
I was like, I fucking knew it. I just...
Oh, you thought he was going to rewind it?
No, I didn't know he was going to rewind it. But that confirmed me like, oh, Peter's like a god almost.
Oh, okay,
Peter just kind of does what he wants.
What'd you think when Naomi Watts shot him? Were you like, what the fuck?
Oh, I was like, fuck yeah.
See? Yes! The movie works. No, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, so like Michael, I've like read a few things, like I've read stuff about the movie, and like Michael Haneke says like the whole like point of the movie was to talk about like violence in media, violence in like film. And he says when they were watching the movie at Cannes, like I think it was getting booed. No one was liking the movie. And when that scene happens, everyone started cheering. Yes. Watch the Criterion special feature interview. Cause like I said, 1997, 2007, they're the same movie.
Great.
People started.
That's awesome.
People started cheering. And then he rewinds it. He fucking trolled the audience so hard, dude.
Oh, that is so cool.
Because like I bet if my mom was watching this movie and that part happened, she'd be like, okay, there's gonna be... That's exactly the part too where it's like, he says there's still supposed to be plot development.
Yes, yeah.
And then that's the plot development. And then he fucking takes it away. It's so great.
That was awesome. I mean, that would be so awesome to be the filmmaker and then have that happen. Like everybody's cheering and just shit all over it. And they're like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, what the fuck am I watching?
Why is he getting the remote?
You want to know it'd be even better too? Like, imagine like, I don't think he thought this, but like, imagine you're like me, like, except you're like an adult. You get the movie and like, oh, this looks good. And they're watching like, why the fuck I get this? And then you see the part where she shoots him like, oh, okay. And then the movie pauses. You're like, did my TV break? That'd be so funny. And then like it actually rewinds. Oh shit.
Yeah, that part was fucking sick.
I even like it looks. My girlfriend Ember didn't think it looked good when he gets shot. I always thought that effect looked really fucking good.
It looked cool. I don't think anybody goes flying that far back when they get shot.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
but
I mean that's like they did that in like Django, and people were like, oh, like Django and Shane.
People bitch about everything.
Yeah, but
but
it's
like I like it. I think it
didn't bother me. I was just like, I mean, subconsciously like, oh, people don't go flying that far back when they get shot, but it's still like it was still like a cool.
I like it because it's like very violent.
Yeah,
it is very like over the top, and they even did the scene looks exactly the same in the original one.
Really?
Yeah, it looks very like when shot for shot remake, like legitimately. Like shot for shot remake.
All right, gotcha. I was gonna ask you what the differences were.
I'd even watch the 1997 version again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Which one do you like more?
I like this one just because I like the acting a little bit more.
Okay.
Probably like inherently it probably is too because it's in English and I don't have to watch it with subtitles. But still, I think Michael Pitt is fucking amazing.
Which one was Michael Pitt again?
Michael Pitt is God.
Oh, okay. All right, it's Peter.
Yes, and
yeah, he did a great job, man. Like I really felt like, yeah, this guy is like a douchey white really rich, wealthy,
in your face,
in your
fucking
face,
asshole.
like asshole kid,
Yeah.
like sociopath, like a kid who I just wouldn't get along with, you know, a kid who I could never, you know.
The acting in his movies are always, oh my god, he's like a great actor's director.
Okay.
The acting in his movies is always like amazing. But
Yeah,
Naomi
stuff.
Watts, holy shit,
She did
dude.
great. She did a
Dude,
good job.
I remember listening to the interview too on the Criterion, and like, I want to talk to you about this scene, like the scene where it's like an unbroken shot of like her
Getting up,
untaping herself, and then going to the husband, and they're just like holding each other and crying. That's too where like the movie's also like it's like the whole like reality versus fiction, right? That's like the reality of the movie.
Yeah.
That's like what would actually happen. You never see that scene in movies. Like it's just like maybe it's like an insert shot of her like getting the tape off. And like it's like it goes from like
then it cuts like the cops showing up.
Yeah. This movie goes through like that pain.
I really like that. Yeah.
You
I like how you just have to sit through it.
You go through those emotions of being like fucking like kind of like a part of like a Manson type of thing. Like you go through those emotions of like you're sitting there and you got to fucking like your kid just got killed.
Yeah, crazy.
That scene too where you just see the blood on the TV.
Yeah.
It's so nasty, dude. It's
I like that part. That's
and
what I was that's
they're
what I was
just
thinking.
screaming.
That's what I was thinking when you see her like getting up and stuff. Firstly, I was a little bit surprised that Naomi Watts, like as a mom, wasn't just like totally broken. Like you know, like I could like usually mothers are just like bawling for like hours and hours and hours, but she was just kind of like she was like on it, you know. She was just like she wanted to fix the situation.
She kind of takes the male role.
Yeah,
in a way.
exactly. Yeah. So I was gonna bring that up. They kind of reverse. That's some more like the satire, or I don't even know what the proper word is, but they do reverse it where it's like Tim Roth, he gets up and he's the one, he's like bawling, he's crying, and she comes over and she's like, you need to stop crying.
Yeah, he's the one that starts crying.
He starts crying.
You know, like she becomes the husband there for a minute.
And then she's even the one that has to like leave and go and try to find help. You know, she's the one that has to
What
go
do you think about
out.
the scene where she comes back? She's about to leave and then she comes back and kisses him.
I was surprised.
Because the movie is very like almost anti something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I was because he said, "I hope you can forgive me," and it's like I was thinking that like from Tim Roth's perspective, his character's perspective, if he just would have kicked them out, right? Like, well, from his perspective, if he just would have kicked them out, this never would have happened. If he just would have listened to his wife, that's almost like the lesson. Like, if you're the normie watching this, the moral lesson is listen to your wife. Like Tim Roth is thinking about like I should have just listened to her. I should just listen to her intuition. Or
my kid got killed. My wife got fucking sexually degraded.
Yeah, and he says, "I hope you can forgive me," which is such an honest, such a good.
That's what someone would say right there.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I hope you can forgive me.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows like he's really shouldering a lot of this. He doesn't have to. He didn't know any better, right? He didn't know any better that these people were fucking psychopaths that were like, you know, breaking the fourth wall and just like going around killing people on the daily. He had no fucking idea, and he couldn't have known. It's not even his fault.
He has no chance.
He has
it's like
no
predetermined.
choice. Yeah, it's literally out of his hands. But it's still from like a moral perspective. Not a moral, like I don't even know what the word is. Him saying that is good to show his wife that like he understands, like where his not necessarily his fault, but it's like. She understands where he's coming from almost, you know. It's like he's really taking a lot of the blame. And she understands like even though it's not his fault necessarily, like he's still showing to her that he cares, you know.
It's like they both acknowledge that like they got fucked.
When she says like I love you, that's like her, that's showing to me like okay, her character's like a mature woman who understands that this wasn't his fault.
That scene is like
I really like that scene.
That scene's because in a way too, there's scenes like that in thrillers.
Yeah.
Right? Where like that's almost like a beat. That's almost like a Snyder beat.
Yeah.
And usually those scenes though aren't too like impactful because it's like a Snyder beat. They need to have that there so that there can be like plot development basically. And this scene does it. This Funny Games does it really well because you feel that emotion.
Yeah.
You know that like this movie does that scene perfectly. You know, like
I think it's also just how they set up Naomi Watts' character.
Okay.
Like she like the first like when you see her like you know she's mad because of the fucking brothers are there and then she's you know she's not really crying over her son as much as the dad is, so you kind of expect her to be a bit more apathetic and kind of like over this shit. It's like this is all your fault,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's understanding of
Yeah,
it.
but
you know?
when she's understanding of it, because I was expecting her not to be understanding, it's like it surprised me a little bit.
It's like the fake Dark Night of the Soul.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh god.
But
Yeah, she's very like the kiss is so like emotional.
yeah, you could feel it.
It's like
yeah.
most movies like do not have shit like that in it. Like
No,
like I said, it perfects that scene.
it was really well done.
Um,
I like how they turn on the TV.
like it's like race cars and shit.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like all right, what if you did like what if you could see everybody who's watching NASCAR, right? And like, all right, let's see the people who are watching NASCAR. Okay, drunk redneck.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what the fuck is going on in this house? And then you keep going on. So you get to see everybody who's like watching NASCAR right now.
It's like you're channel swapping and then
you're channel swapping, but like fourth wall channel swapping.
I see.
Like,
that's pretty cool.
I think it was like what the fuck is going on in this house?
It's like for as brutal as the movie is too, like it doesn't show the kid getting killed.
No, yeah,
because
they should have.
He goes to get no, like that's why the movie's smart too. Like Haneke said this in one of the interviews. It's like there are times he does like de-stress the audience because Tubby's the one that kills him, right?
Mm.
Peter, or
he goes makes a sandwich.
He goes to make a sandwich, and then that's when the kid gets killed.
Yeah.
And then like the thing that does it for me is like you hear them start to scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like horrified.
Yeah.
It's like they can't control it. It just like comes out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he's just like making a sandwich.
Yeah.
And oh god,
I was expecting a little bit more screams, but it's like it's kind of the way they set up
I know what
the
you
characters. Mean. It's like it's not that they're apathetic, but it's like they're not as like their reaction is not as verbal. Like their reactions are like they're very like even when they're getting like when they first realize what's happening, they're like in the living room and they're kind of explaining the game and stuff like that. Even then, they're not that verbal. They're just like, "Let us go." I was like, and they didn't say that monotonely, but like, if I was in the situation, I was a dad, I would be asking them so many fucking questions. Like, so where'd you guys from? Like, are you guys like sociopaths?
Yeah,
do you
guys
kill lots of animals? I would try to piece together what's going on. That's where I would come at it from.
Okay,
it's almost like the family's very I mean, I'm sure this is purposeful in a way. It's almost like they're very stereotypical and just like,
oh yeah,
yeah, very just like, just there so that
they're
this can
taking
happen.
it. Yeah. Like I said, they're like symbols.
Yeah,
they're symbols for it. What else? Oh, one of my favorite scenes is when they're on the boat.
The ending boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the beginning, I didn't catch this the first time I saw it, but like Tim Roth and the kid are setting up like the sail and shit, and they're like, it's gonna be windy tomorrow.
And then the knife.
Yeah. It's like a red herring.
Yeah.
And then they're on the boat, and that scene's filmed really well too. Like I think they were actually like on a parasail or something, or not a parasail, but
or
like,
whatever, the sailboat.
And it's supposed to be windy, and then you see it's like actually fucking windy.
Yeah.
Like they film those scenes on like windy days. Like the dedication, like holy shit. But they start talking about like some fucking weird physics shit.
Yeah, I like that part.
What did they say exactly?
Black hole. They're talking about the black hole. How like when you enter the black hole, like the gravitational force is so strong that nothing can leave it.
And it ties into like reality and fiction. It's like the theme stated right there, but you got to think about it. Let me pull it up because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
But I know that. Please be here.
Let me check the audio.
Please be here.
Oh my god.
I know. There's a lot to.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest for this movie.
It's not a movie. You gotta see it twice.
Yeah,
you do gotta see it twice.
I think you need to be willing to ditch your perspective. People are so tied to their own perspective,
Yeah, of like what a movie should be.
Not even just like that. I mean, just even like morally, you need to be able to.
Oh yeah, you need like.
You need to. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just so much about it. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to. Restate. What the fuck is the word?
You don't want to keep saying what you said before, basically. Yeah. No, but like God damn
You
it.
can't find it.
You know, like whether or not we talk about it on the podcast, I'll like rewatch the movie
Yeah.
and talk
We'll
to you
talk
about
about
that
it, yeah.
line. Because that's like one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
I like that scene too. I liked how it almost felt like they were over it. You know, they're over the whole thing. It's like we're just kind of all right. Let's just go over here and
We're
just drop her
chilling.
off. Yeah, they're just having a conversation while she's there. It's almost like she's an errand at that point.
It's so anticlimactic too.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you think, like, after all the shit that's happened, like, everyone dies in an anticlimactic way,
Yeah.
kind of. They just, like, he looks at her and he's like, ciao, Bella. And
Yeah.
he just fucking throws her out the boat.
See, that's what like the movie's like. By the end, it's almost like they're the main characters. You know.
I
I would want to watch like a miniseries, like a really well done miniseries, like
of Peter and Paul.
Peter and Paul, like dissecting these concepts, like what it means to be God, right? What it means to be
Be
really,
real,
really
yeah.
rich and to not necessarily deal with the pain of existence. Like they're dealing with the pain of existence by realizing that nothing's real. And because nothing's real, these people aren't real, so they can do whatever they want with them.
But they don't know that they're not real.
But it's like
The people don't know that
the
they're
people
not real.
don't like the family doesn't know that they're actors. You know, it's almost like Peter kind of knows that they're actors.
And it's kind of like a reflection on like what it would be like to be God.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. I really
Because
like those concepts.
Humans don't know that like for the argument like God exists.
Mhm.
Humans don't know that they're like a byproduct of God.
Yeah.
They can only like theorize about it.
Right. Or even like us, right? Like we don't know how the universe works, so we don't know like who our actors are. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like
But it's like Peter can see that, like he understands what's going on.
and it's like things that inflict like pain on us are like people are like higher beings than us watching a movie of us.
yeah, it's
And it's like for us, like we're the higher beings watching the like say we're watching some torture porn movie like Saw.
Mhm.
Like we're the higher beings watching the subjects being tortured in there.
right.
And but then it brings in the whole fucking reality and fiction thing. And then that's like that twists my mind.
Yeah,
like,
it's good. It really blends a lot of stuff. It's really smart. Like just talking about that, I started thinking about like, is Peter really free? You know, like is he
Yeah.
free? Like that's why I said he was doomed earlier, because it's like it's almost like he is doomed because I mean, I already said this, but it's like he's constrained to the movie. It's like he's doomed. He's like a slave for our entertainment almost, or like I don't want to say it's his entertainment because it's not really. It's
it
like,
is his entertainment.
Is it?
I think so.
And maybe I don't know.
I see him as the director. That like I kind of see him as the director.
So you see her as Michael Haneke.
basically, or like a director,
Mm-hmm.
a smart director, not fucking Michael Bay.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know. That'll be interesting to dissect.
it's really cool to look at it too. You can look at the movie through like a lot of like different like frames of thought, but it's
Yeah.
like free will versus determinism.
Yeah.
This is a really good movie.
Yeah.
dissect that
I
through.
was thinking about that when the whole rewind thing, him rewinding it is like a rejection of determinism in a way.
It's like a rejection of like free will.
All right. Yeah. It's so dude. It's so
Like I think it's a rejection of free
yeah,
will
we'll
because
have to do like a commentary on this. 'Cause
oh no, it's
this
like
deserves
a really
this
good
is
idea.
like a movie that deserves essays. You know,
yes,
easily.
they should fucking show us this movie in school.
100%.
Like oh my god,
This is such a. It's so big brain because it's such a good rejection.
it's so layered.
yeah. It's
It's
really
fucking.
good. We're really sucking this movie's dick.
No, it deserves it. I'm not fucking.
I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite movies, but
Well,
it's definitely like
It was the first time you saw it.
it's the first
too.
time I saw it. Maybe I'll like it more. I really like how what this means to filmmaking. What's up, Johnny? Could you go through the front? Because Willie's right here.
He's looking at it. I think it's like determinism because it's like that's determined to happen either way because he can rewind it. So he gets to always choose the like way it plays out. But
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I also don't think about like you sent me a text the other day. It's like you said you'd like try to critically think.
yes. What
I don't critically think.
do you mean?
I don't think about like philosophy.
Oh,
It's kind of weird.
It's a bad and a good habit to get into.
No, it's like a good habit in the fact that you're like
It helps with movies.
accepting.
It helps with movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just kind of watch something and like rely too much on emotion instead of like critically thinking.
Mhm.
This movie though I like too because it like makes me think about all that shit.
Yeah.
Some movies like you really have to dig for stuff
Mhm.
and it's almost like you're digging for something that isn't there.
Mhm.
But this movie like we said there's like a lot of meat to it.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a kind of like a rejection of free will, because it's like determined that they're never going to get away out of like
right
death and like
I
the
can see
torture
that.
and pain.
Yeah, it's a rejection of free will for normal people. For
Yeah,
like the family,
yeah.
like the family is like a normal, really stereotypical. It's like they don't have free will. The only people, it's almost like they show Peter as having free will. You know, they show him as like he's the close. That character is the closest you can get to having free will.
Because he's like God.
Because he's like God
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah.
Even Tubby isn't.
Even Tubby, no,
Because he can't break the fourth wall.
he can't even
you know?
choose when he dies. You know, like
Dude, that's like. So we're like in the 3D world, and they're in the 2D world, and
Yeah.
it's like he's able to come into the 3D world. So if it's like a like.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can come into the 3D world?
He can like communicate with the 3D world while they can only communicate with like
yeah.
the 2D world.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if he were a person, he'd be able to go into like the fourth dimension.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And that's trippy as fuck.
You'd be, by that logic, you'd be correct. Yeah. He would be able to, he can't communicate with them. He can communicate towards them. He can't get any information from us. You know what I mean? He's literally talking to us.
But he knows we exist.
He knows we exist. He knows that we're there. He knows, all right. This is where, all right, hopefully I don't fuck this up.
Go for it. Fucking, we're gonna do like a Watch Mojo explain.
He knows he's talking to somebody because whenever this movie's played, it'll be being watched by somebody. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like he'll always be talking to somebody because whenever those scenes come up, somebody will be watching this movie, unless it's like playing in the background. Or
That is a way too of like, yeah, like the director kind of like immortalizes himself.
Yeah,
because he's like you said earlier, like talking to future people.
Yeah, like he's like, the movie was made when I was 7 years old, and he didn't know he was gonna be talking to me in 2021. You know.
Holy shit.
That's right. That's why I like movies like this. I like those concepts. There's a few things I try to write similar to this, but like way more on the nose. But it's a cool concept. I really like that stuff. I like fourth wall breaks.
Just out of curiosity, I watched it with like my dad and girlfriend, and just the part where the titles come up and that song comes up.
Dude, I love that part.
I started laughing
because
like
awesome.
They're probably like, okay, this is pretty normal, and then fucking like screaming and shit, and it's just like they had to be thinking, what the fuck's he showing me? I like it. It like it's a good tone setter for the movie.
Yeah,
you know, and that's a funny thing about Haneke. Most of his movies have no non-diegetic sound, so
really?
like. There's no scores in his movies for the most part. If there's music coming, it's from like something in the scene.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, go
and
ahead,
that really works in this movie too, because like Peter's almost like not in the scene.
Yeah,
and like oh god,
I noticed that as well. That song was pretty much the only song that was played.
There's no music
outside of the scene. There's one scene where he does play it, and it is in the scene, but that song also plays outside of the scene.
Yes,
it plays
at
as
the
like
title
the edit.
cards too.
Plays, yeah.
Because the title cards come on twice.
Do they?
I think so. It says Funny Games twice, I'm pretty sure.
One at the beginning and one at the end?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
That song though is just so fucking
I like that song. I might
First time I saw it too, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I just wanted to watch like a normal movie. I was like 12.
I really like that. I like it when people use metal music. I'm not a big metal fan.
It's not even
like metal. It's like weird experimental.
I looked up the band and like avant-garde. That's what they say their genre is. I think they're called Naked City.
Naked City.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, me neither. But it was good. It was a good tone setter, right?
Is there anything you don't like about this movie that takes you out of it? Even though I love this movie, I still gotta ask that.
Think. It's such its own thing for what he was trying to do. I think he pulled it off great. The only reason why I'd say it's not like going to be one of my favorites is because I see this more as like an experiment than like a movie. I see this more as like this is something that filmmakers should learn from and like try understand it, and especially understand the concepts and how well they pulled it off here. I just don't see this as like, I mean, it is a movie, but I don't see this as like a movie. It's weird. I see this. I don't even know how to describe what it is.
It's like a study.
It's like a study. Yeah, it's more like
I see what you
it's
mean.
almost like research. You know, it's because it's so complicated. It's not, and it rejects a lot of like story stuff. It's very philosophical. It's
a shot for shot remake.
Yeah, and it's a shot for shot remake. I almost see this more as like an experiment. Like,
okay,
this is like a film experiment. I wouldn't say this is like a movie. This is like that's how I see it.
like an experiment on the audience, kind of. Well,
yeah,
on a lot of different
it's
things.
I almost see this
but-
as like an experiment in like brainwashing a little bit. You know.
Oh yeah,
I almost see this as that, and which is why I really like it. I like that stuff.
it's a manipulation, and that's
Yeah.
like his whole thing. Like, there's like a shit ton of quotes where he's just talking about like film and manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And funny thing is, like, none of his other movies are really like this
Mm-hmm.
in the idea that it's like meta.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his movies are pretty like,
Movies.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this is my favorite Michael Haneke movie. He's like in my top 5 directors.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's like YMS's favorite director.
Oh. All
And
right,
then, like,
yeah.
I remember I heard him saying that, so I like started to check out some more of his movies, and it's like he does a lot of long take stuff,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, like I really like it. It's
I'll check out more of his stuff.
yeah, you got it. Like, this is by far I think his most like provocative, but his other stuff is very very philosophical.
I like that, dude. Oh man, I'm such a sucker
Dude.
for that shit.
Like, let me think. Cachet, Hidden, The Piano Teacher.
Nice.
You saw it today, Code Unknown. Code Unknown's more like not as philosophical.
Mhm.
Code Unknown's almost like a vignette movie.
Okay.
Then there's The White Ribbon. Did I say The
Right,
White Ribbon?
You talked about it earlier. Yeah.
The White Ribbon's really like philosophical. So I've seen Funny Games, both of them. Code Unknown, The Piano Player or The Piano Teacher,
Mhm.
Cachet, The White Ribbon, and Amore. And those are
Nice.
like all his pretty popular
Nice.
movies. Then he did a movie called Benny's Video. It's supposed to be pretty violent. He did a movie called 71 Fragments
Benny's Video. That sounds interesting.
71 Fragments in a Chronology of Chance. That movie's a little, I've seen parts of it. It's a little boring.
What is
but
Benny's Video about?
Benny's Video? Yeah. I think you'd like Benny's Video. I haven't seen it, but I think I know what it's about. That's like one of his first movies too. How old do you think this guy is? I don't think I told you.
In his 50s,
Okay, so you think he was born like 60s?
60s, sure.
He was born in World War II.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he didn't start, his first film was 1989.
It took a little while for him.
He was in like television and stuff.
All right, let me see this. A 14-year-old video enthusiast is so caught up in film fantasy that he can no longer relate to the real world to such an extent that he commits murder and records an on-camera confession for his parents. Okay, yeah. See, so that reminds me of Peter. It's like Peter is like a character, excluding the. All right, let's say he couldn't break the fourth wall. Him as a character reminds me of this. It's like somebody who's so caught up in like a certain philosophical idea they realize that like there's no real world. It's not that their actions don't have consequences, but it's like almost like the consequences aren't real either.
Yeah.
That's how I started seeing the characters after.
He doesn't think death's real.
Not even like that death's not real, but it's like
It doesn't matter.
existence.
or-
Yeah, it's almost not even like I don't even know. That's where it gets complicated. It's like existence is This is where I have to show you this one video called like the material world,
Okay.
where it's like everything you experience is just like electrical signals going up to your
Mhm.
brain. But they really show you how much everything is basically like a hallucination in a way.
Oh, okay.
So like
oh shit, that plays into the movie.
that plays into the movie
So
right?
much.
So like for Peter, I almost feel like he sees the world that like I watched parts of that video. I
Mhm.
want to save that. I want to watch the whole thing with my friends, or really like stone. Okay, because this video, I've seen like a few clips from this video, and this video is like
It's big brain.
genuinely big brain, and like it could be life changing if you accept those ideas into your.
Oh shit.
Like life changing,
in like a good or bad way.
life changing if you let it. Right, you could
Okay.
choose not to, but I mean, like if you really choose to embrace, it's not even like concepts. It's like genuine scientific fact that this is how reality actually works, and they
Mhm.
really show you, not even how we've been fooled, but like how we're so warped in how we experience reality and what it actually is, and how we really don't know what it is. But like that character reminded me of like that video.
That idea?
Yeah, that idea
Okay.
that existence, being alive is just a big hallucination.
That definitely has to go into some of the thought of this, because I've read he was like he like studied philosophy in college.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, that's how I saw it. That's how I
Yeah.
saw Peter. It was like he's somebody who understands that his life is like a hallucination. And that
Yeah.
kind of plays into like being God too.
you can definitely see it like
Yeah.
that, you know?
And like once you understand that, once you start understanding those concepts, it's like in a way you are God, because you understand what man has never understood for most of time. You know, you understand like this very meta concept, meta in like just normal world. Like understanding that shit is like, it's not that you're an actual God, but you just have like godly information at your fingertips.
Yeah, you have like access to like that fourth dimension.
Yeah, a little
Or
bit.
kind of.
Not the fourth dimension,
No,
but just like reality, just like what reality, it's all right.
That'd probably fuck up the way I think, honestly.
I'll show you the video one day. It's a cool ass video. I took the warning. There's a warning at the beginning. There's a warning at the beginning of the video. I put it at the beginning of the new Wizard intro on this Twitch stream, and when I start editing episodes 40 through 60, I'm gonna put it at the beginning of the intro.
Why the fuck's there a warning?
The warning's like you want to see the warning?
Is it like a legit warning, or is it kind of like a meme?
It's a little meme-ish,
Okay.
but it is a warning.
That type of stuff kind of changes the way I think. I'm kind of gullible.
What do you see? What is it?
Like, you showed me that egg video.
Oh, that video fucked you up?
A little bit. Or it like, I just thought about it. It's like, that makes sense.
Where is it? Podcast videos.
I had to show you this movie. Or like, we had to talk about it.
Yeah, this movie's cool. Where is it?
You want to know the weird thing too?
What's that?
People like the first one more.
I wonder why.
They're the same fucking movie. And I think like the
I hear
acting's
this.
better in this
So
one.
it's called Perception, the Reality Beyond Matter.
Secret of your
Okay,
life.
listen to this.
You should watch it very attentively, for
Okay. There we go. Let me put this up on the...
warning. The subject of this film you are about to watch reveals a crucial secret of your life. You should watch it very attentively, for it concerns a subject that is liable to make fundamental changes in your outlook on the material world. The content of this film is not just a different approach or a philosophical thought. It is a fact, which is also proven by science today.
Yeah. They'll probably fuck up the way I think.
Yeah, it definitely will. It definitely will. That video is like that video is like a weapon.
Oh shit.
And that's why I like thinking about film in that way. I feel like film is eventually going to become like a weapon.
Oh yeah. I mean, it can work as propaganda.
Propaganda. I feel like I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, that video that reminded me of some of the concepts we're talking about here. Even though I'm not like an expert in any of it. Anything else that you want to talk? Oh yeah, what we didn't like about it.
I don't really like have too many complaints about it.
Yeah, I already told you. It's like what they were trying to do. I mean, I already said that. I don't have many complaints because I think they did what they wanted to do, and I can't see how they could have done it any better.
It's to me, it's like very perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me think. It makes me critically think, and I'm not like a critical thinker.
It's good. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good.
And I just
film
like
study,
I just
whatever.
like the way like how like it's a movie that really like criticizes like lazy viewers.
Yeah,
Because like in a way everyone's kind of like a lazy viewer. You know, like there's movies like that just like you might not like just because like they catch you off guard. You know,
right.
So,
Yeah.
like that's what I thought kind of about The Leopard.
Yeah, this movie for me, I realized if I was gonna be a lazy viewer and watch this movie, it would be to my detriment.
It would piss you off.
Yeah, you
You'd be
can't
like,
watch
what
this
the
movie
fuck?
as a lazy
No.
viewer. You have this movie. As soon as that stuff started happening, it forced me to really like. All right, you have to think about this movie.
Yes, they should definitely show this movie in like film theory.
I
Like this
agree.
movie is film theory.
Yeah, I agree.
You could do like
100%.
a fucking class on this movie.
That'd be really entertaining.
like We need to do a commentary track.
Yeah.
Like do a special screen tongue
It'd
episode.
be cool if we were like older and professors or something, or not even professors, just to, like hold the class, like have kids talk about it. Get the first reactions out of the way. Like, oh, I thought it was dog shit. I hated it. It made me so mad. and then you start digging in and into what the concepts are and what they have to say about it.
It is very smart. If it's in my top 5, I'd give it like a 10 out of 10, A+.
10 out of 10.
Like it's one of my favorite movies.
You give it a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I really don't have anything. There might be a few times where some of the lines are a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that like detrimentally like changes the way I view the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie to show people. It is. You can learn like a shit ton of stuff about it like every time you watch it.
Right.
It is like a masterpiece, I think. And I think people really just don't like it because of the way it makes them feel. Like, here, let me read what the Rotten Tomatoes consensus is.
Sure, yeah.
So this doesn't make sense, too.
What's that?
This is the one from 1997. It says, same exact movie. Violent images and blunt audience provocation make up this nihilistic experiment from one of cinema's most difficult filmmakers. 69% critic score, 83% audience score.
Okay. Nihilistic experiment.
All right,
that's a good way to describe. That's a nihilistic film experiment. That's exactly what this is.
All right. Now, 10 years later, I don't know what the fuck happened. Though made with great skill, Funny Games is nevertheless a sadistic exercise in chastising the audience. 52% critic score, 54% audience score. How the fuck did it drop 30%? Fucking lazy ass viewers, that's how.
You got a new generation of people who saw this.
God, fucking morons, dude. This Roger Ebert didn't review this movie, but he had someone like from like his newspaper review it, and they gave it like a half star out of 4.
Wow.
He basically said it's torture porn. And it's not as smart as it.
It's not. It's a part of it.
Basically, like pretentious torture porn that isn't as smart as we think it is.
Torture
Fucking
porn.
moron. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe it could be. Maybe like for somebody who's an expert in these concepts, maybe they do see this as like, oh, they really fucked up on these concepts here. They didn't like. They really messed up this concept here. I mean, I'm not an expert, so to me, this.
It's not even like it has to perfect the concepts. It just has to make you like think about them. And there is like there's definitely truth to the fact that like film's a manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And like you think about that more, and it's like that's such like a simple idea that can like elevate the way you look at pretty much every film.
Yeah.
So
it would be really cool to hear Michael Haneke talk about the concepts in this movie if he was thinking about that. I mean, I feel like he was. Like hearing him talking about why did you structure it this way? Why are these characters the way that you? Why'd you decide to do the fourth wall break here and not here? Why'd you do it in this way, that way? It would be really cool to pick his brain on this.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to this guy. Yeah, there's actually for his movie Amore, on the DVD there's a special feature where he does a discussion with this guy Elvis Mitchell. And Elvis Mitchell, I don't know if you remember, like when COVID first happened, UNLV did like a discussion, and Keenan talked to Elvis Mitchell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
dude really keeps on farting. Holy shit.
What'd he eat?
He's been eating. I think it's his new dog food he got him. He's been farting like every 10 minutes. Like I'll just be editing here, and it'll just be like, God damn it.
What the fuck, Willie?
Let me think. What would I give this out of 10?
Student gave it to you.
Yeah, the student brought this over to me. I was like, here, look what I made. I'd be really impressed. Like, there's nothing I could say to them that could make this better.
It's like you gave them an assignment, and they like made a joke of the assignment while also like doing the assignment.
Yeah, I'd be very impressed.
They like turned it over.
I would ask them what they're trying to do. You know, I'd ask them like, all right, I'd ask them the same concepts. I'd ask Michael Haneke. I'd be like, why'd you do the fourth wall breaks like this? Did you want to do it like this? All that stuff. And once I had all those questions answered, you know, and they gave me like good responses, I would be like, yeah, you did a great job.
You made me think about it.
Yeah, I would give this probably like a 9.5 out of 10.
That's fucking right.
Yeah, it's because it's like it's so good. It's such its own thing. There's nothing I can, unless I was literally talking to him. There's nothing I can say to make this movie better and how it delivers.
It achieves what it's going
the only
for.
way to like make this movie not better, but like the only way to like. It's like you'd have to make it a different movie. It would be something totally different if you wanted to change anything. It's like it's so tight in how everything is. It's just it would just be something totally different.
Everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Like Even the lines,
Mhm.
it's very detail oriented.
The only complaint I have is like, it's not even a complaint. It's just like it, and I've already said this numerous times, but it's like not like a real movie. It's like an experiment.
Yeah.
It's a nihilistic film experiment. That's a good way for me to look at it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. You still have the Criterion one.
I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've only watched the interview. It's like 20 minutes. They don't go too in depth about it. I kind of wish they did, or he did. But on there, and I haven't seen it yet, there's like the 40-minute like con press conference.
Okay.
So that might have some. The audio is kind of shit in it, but that might have some interesting. Because I'm sure people ask like some interesting questions every now and then.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm really glad we got to talk about this.
Yeah, it was a good,
I've been wanting to
conversation.
like. There was a while back like where I wanted to like, recommend something for Chew or something like that.
Mhm.
I forget what it was, but I wanted to like, something from Funny Games made me want to recommend it here, but you hadn't seen Funny Games.
Oh yeah.
So
was it one of the fourth wall breaks?
it was something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't I
think
do?
it was,
okay, yeah. Well, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Oh, this movie's like, it's so great. I love this movie. I'm really glad we got to talk about
that was
it.
a good
That was a good
conversation.
discussion.
Yeah.
We talked about it for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we hit a lot of the marks towards the beginning. This is such a hard movie to talk about because
It is. You have to think about
the
it,
beginning
yeah.
really, I was me like kind of figuring out what I wanted to say, and I think at like the 40-minute mark, I started to really hit.
Oh yeah. You really like. It's almost like something you have to like write a report on.
Yeah.
You have to like, you have to structure the way you talk about it.
Yeah, it's really, you have to be really specific about it. It's really cool. Let me just check the audio. We'll move on to fucking
Sid and Nancy.
Be really specific about it. It's really good. That sounds good. Yeah. So all right, Sid and Nancy. Let's start with
Lovely
Sid and
film.
Nancy. Okay.
So you did Sid.
I
It was
recommended
sort
Sid
of
and
me.
Nancy. Yeah, but I still want. I saw the.
Okay.
I've been looking at the trailer for a while now, and I'm like, I really should see this. I should check this movie out.
Did you see any of the special features on it?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay. I only saw like one or two.
But yeah, I recommended this just because I was. I didn't know Alex Cox did it, and I like Repo Man a lot. Repo Man's an awesome movie.
I need to see Repo Man.
It's a punk movie.
People always say Repo Man's really good too.
Oh, Repo Man's just a good time. Really, really good punk movie.
Nicholas Winding Refn really likes it.
Yeah. Solid watch. Some of the delivery, some of the performances are
Hit or miss.
yeah, big hit or miss.
Still though, it's like a cult film kind of.
Yeah,
It's
like some Donnie Darko performances.
Okay.
But yeah, Sid and Nancy, I wanted to watch it. Especially just like since there's not a lot of like high budget punk movies that I can think of.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like a very like subgenre that doesn't have a lot in it.
Yeah,
You know?
there's not as much explored in it, but
And
It's
there's like a
still
lot
cool.
to explore.
yeah, like Suburbia. There's some like similarities to like Suburbia and this,
Uh-huh.
you know. But anyways, yeah. So this movie was when was it made? In 1980.
1986, I think.
1986. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman's in it. Who's
Sid
who-
Vicious.
Who plays Nancy?
Chloe Webb.
Chloe
I haven't
Webb.
heard of her in anything else. She had a really good accent though.
Yeah, she nailed
that,
it.
like-
I looked up some interviews afterwards. She sounds exactly like Nancy.
Oh fuck! I wish I
Exactly.
did that. I wish I
Yeah.
like heard the way Nancy.
She sounds exactly. She nailed it.
That had to be so weird. Like, Sid, they died in like 1979,
Mhm.
but still think about it. Like, holy fuck! Like, less than 10 years later, you see two people who are like replicas of them in
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah, man, and
That's
fucking
crazy.
Gary Oldman and like he doesn't look exactly like him, but in
Oh,
certain
he looks a lot like
in
him, dude.
certain shots, it's like that looks exactly like Sid Vicious.
They fucking nailed the costume and the
costume,
hair,
the makeup, yeah.
and then just like even the way he talks. Like, I heard like he kind of changed something with the accent,
Mhm.
but I could totally imagine Sid Vicious talking like that.
Yeah,
you know?
they got the characters really good. They did great.
I want to see this movie again because I was kind of like over the rainbow when I watched it.
Oh really?
But like, no, that made it like it was really fucking. It was intense. It was
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah, the first. So, where should we start? All right. So
Or,
my first
over like
Yeah.
overview of it.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me.
overview. The only parts that didn't work for me, I thought the pacing towards like somewhere around the third act started to go a little bit long for me. That's it though. But I mean, you know, I don't know if they wanted the pacing there to be kind of not slow, but it's just the pacing about it just felt a little bit off. You know,
because that's when like they're getting close to her death.
Yeah, that's when it's getting close to like becoming like not depressing, but it's like it's coming to like a climax. You know, it's
the
coming,
end of their lives.
It's coming to. It's very just like you know, they're druggies, so they're really they're doing heroin. So it's like I don't know if the pacing was like that because of, you know, on purpose before that, or if it was an accident, you know. But the pacing around there just didn't. Not that it wasn't good. It was still good, but it just like there was a few times where just like it started to lose me a little bit. I was like, I want the same energy.
I feel like maybe the pacing dwindles a little bit just because it's like showing, okay, like they're junkies and this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and like they're having to put up with each other and really like they're like made for each other, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not made for anyone.
Yeah.
You know? So, and in a way, I think that can get a little repetitive, just seeing them over and over again, like kind of like.
Yeah, it did get a bit repetitive. Yeah, I think that maybe that was my issue with it.
But like, I didn't really have a problem with that. My favorite shot comes near the end, where they're just fucking, dude. That gives me chills. That's like
the poster.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say it's like the scariest scene I've ever felt, but like. It gives me like a weird feeling just looking at like, I just think about like Sid Vicious probably at some point in his life was just like kissing her in like a deserted fucking alley, just like stoned out of his mind. It looks so fucking creepy, dude.
You felt creepy from that? You felt like
yeah,
creeped out from that?
it's just like
creeped out.
It's like I understand, like I get it's cool, but for some reason it's just creepy. The idea of like Sid Vicious just like. He's like a rock star. He could go anywhere, and like he just goes to a fucking like place of trash and garbage and scum to just like kiss his girlfriend. That's so nasty. Like,
I did see an interview with what's his name, Johnny Rotten, talking about Sid
I heard he
Vicious's
didn't
death.
like. Oh, okay.
Talking about it, and the way he talked about Sid Vicious is like he said I felt bad including Sid Vicious in the band, just because I felt like he wasn't ready for you know all the fame and stuff. Like him and the Sex Pistols beforehand, you know, they were doing their shit for like about a year or so, from what he said in this interview. So they were kind of like, not that they were getting used to it, but it's like they were able to, they knew what to expect, right? And they got Sid Vicious in on it, and he was still pretty young. Like he was one of the youngest ones.
Oh yeah, he was like 19 or something.
Yeah, he was like 19, and they included him, and he was already like a personality that would. You know, like he's like a very degenerative sort of personality.
Wasn't it because like the other bass player, like Sid Vicious, just had like a cool vibe about him?
Yeah, people really saw him as like he's just a cool character to have.
Yeah,
around. But it's like he can't really control himself, you know, and so that's why he said he felt so bad, because he started falling in with the drugs more, and you know, and he was famous, and just like. You can't control him.
He kind of contributed to his death, it sounds like.
A little
and he
bit,
feels a little guilty for it.
Yeah.
I heard Johnny Rotten did not like the movie.
Probably, I mean, it kind of I don't know, because I don't know a lot about the Sex Pistols, so I don't know, maybe like what didn't he like about it?
I just read I read a little bit on Wikipedia. I'll quote it just because.
Yeah.
And even on the DVD, I like watched one of the special features. Alex Cox was even kind of trashing it. I don't know if he was. You know how like people like trash their own thing, kind of. I don't think it was that though. Like Alex Cox didn't really.
What were they saying about it?
He was just like saying like we did some stuff wrong. Like it's like he almost thought they should have made it less realistic. I think that's what he was saying.
I can see that. Yeah, there's a few scenes in there that are very artsy.
He wanted to make it less realistic.
Yeah, that makes sense. It feels like they were trying to push for that. Like, there's a few scenes in there that are like not artsy, but it's like outside of reality. You know, it's almost like there's some scenes that are almost like a tribute to the relationship.
Well, I think he meant it more in the respect like don't make the characters so close to what they were.
That's interesting. I wonder why he thought that.
You'd have to watch it for yourself. I could be like misquoting it, but here I'll read this really quick. I can't understand why anyone would want to put out a movie like Sid and Nancy and not bother to speak to me. Alex Cox, the director, didn't, which is kind of weird because on the DVD, Alex Cox said he did.
Huh.
So it's one of those he said, she said. He used as a point of reference of all people Joe Strummer. That's kind of funny. Hold on. The whole thing was a sham. It was a ploy to get my name used in connection.
It's a play.
He said this. I honestly believe that it celebrates heroin addiction. It definitely glorifies it at the end when the stupid taxi drives off into the sky. I don't think it drives off.
No, it didn't drive.
That's
off in the
such
sky,
nonsense. It was so often ridiculous. It was absurd. Champagne and baked beans for breakfast. Sorry, I don't drink champagne. He doesn't even speak like me. Worse, there's a slur implied in the movie that I was jealous of Nancy, which I find particularly loathsome. There is that implication that I feel was definitely put there. I guess that's Alex Cox showing his middle-class twittery. It's all too glib. It's all too easy. Basically, he didn't like it. Then he wrote. They asked him, "Did the movie get anything right?" And then Johnny Rotten said, "Maybe the name Sid." I feel though like Johnny Rotten's kind of. He's not a reliable source.
Yeah, I can see that.
Have you read anything about him?
No, I don't know. I don't know a lot about him.
He's kind of weird. Like, yeah, he's kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like check out like his political stuff on Wikipedia.
I'll check it out.
It's a little weird.
I'll check it out.
But I really like the movie. Like,
I like it too.
I'd watch it. Like, it's a good movie to like watch again just because like it's entertaining. It's entertaining to see like Sid Vicious like. This is bad, but it's like entertaining to see him deteriorate.
Yeah.
And like die.
I really liked him as a character. I really liked him. He's just so fun to watch.
It's not even that his character's like really special. Cause like if you really think about Sid Vicious, he was just popular because like he was bad.
Yeah. There's a video of him walking around in a swastika.
Oh,
shirt.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just like him just like glaring at people.
You know that song in the movie Something Else?
Uh-huh.
There's like a music video for it,
Mhm.
and he's wearing like fucking stringed underwear, almost like a thong.
A thong, yeah.
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 And it's like there's kind of no reason Sid Vicious should have been famous.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But
I agree.
yet he's just interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And that's not really the movie's fault that Sid Vicious was just like a heroin junkie. Like,
Maybe that's what happened.
but for whatever reason, like, it's interesting for humans to watch like another human be like really fucked up and sad.
Yeah, it was a good watch. So starting the movie, I wasn't expecting this to be as well shot as it was for some reason.
Roger Deakins.
Yeah. So Roger Deakins.
Okay, yeah.
So like the movie starts and like there's just some shots in there. I already forgot some of them, but there's some shots in there that are just so well framed and so like obviously the colors were good. It just visually it was just like really well shot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's some really good looking shots at the beginning. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, punk movie, it'll just be kind of I
You weren't expecting it to be
I didn't know
like
what to expect.
artsy
honestly.
like mise en scène.
Yeah, just some of the shots were just so good. It was like some some Stanley Kubrick level looking shots.
The opening shot's fucking amazing.
What was the opening shot again?
Where he's just staring blankly as she's dead.
Yeah.
And then there's like that shadow, like the background's almost like a dull puke green color, and there's like a shadow on his face, and he's just like staring.
Yeah.
And it's so gross, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like,
or even like when the flashback starts and it shows him like breaking like on the car and he's like breaking the windshield and shit.
Isn't there a shot from like inside the car? Or
Yeah,
I
there's a
don't
shot inside
remember.
the car.
Okay.
I remember there's some good shots around the car. There's just good shots throughout. I think the beginning had some of the best looking shots. The later on, there's a lot more interior shots.
It's directed really well. They did a great job of making it like a visual film.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
they
almost like even if you don't like the Sex Pistols or punk rock or care about Sid Vicious, you could watch the movie and appreciate it for like the way it's directed and the
craft.
way, yeah. Like there's one scene, the fucking scene where they're kissing and he goes down and starts like eating her toes.
Oh yeah,
That scene was so good.
I like that scene.
And it's like a single take too, I think.
I think that's one reason why I like punk movies so much. It's because all the characters look fucking nuts, dude. Like imagine like everybody in your circle just looks like a fucking psychopath, dude. Like they'll have like really shitty looking hair, like purple hair, orange hair, mohawks, and they all just hang out. And dude, it sounds so fun.
It's like
It's like
no one cares kind of, but
Yeah.
like they want to look like this they want to look like a punk, you know?
Yeah.
Like, look at that guy. What the fuck are they doing? Like, I don't want him near me.
It seems like such an interesting lifestyle. I don't know if I would ever adopt it. It'd be cool to try it out, you know.
You could do like a Hunter S. Thompson thing, like with the Hells Angels.
Yeah, the Hells Angels. Yeah,
Like,
maybe that'd be kind of cool.
Just document like that scene. No, it's really interesting. Like, even like I almost feel the scene's more interesting than the music. Cause like
a little bit, yeah, I agree.
Some of the
I agree
music's dog
100%.
shit.
Yeah,
like,
some of it, like that's one reason why it was so hard for me to get into Sex Pistols is just because like a lot of the time it's just really repetitive.
Yeah, I
feel like
say,
Sex
yeah.
Pistols is like the kind of music you want to be there to experience live. Like live, I would just be trying to fight people.
Cause like, have you seen like live footage of them? Like Johnny Rotten gets fucking crazy, dude.
No, I haven't seen any
no,
live
oh,
footage.
dude, his eyes, like it looks like he's on fucking like meth or something.
That's crazy. He probably is.
And then like Sid Vicious is just over there going like, you know, and it is really cool. That is like, what's your favorite Sex Pistols song? I think I asked you.
I said it was Anarchy in the UK.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
listen to more stuff, but the one you chose for my story, what's it called?
Bodies.
That one was good.
That's my
think,
favorite
I think
Sex
that one
Pistols
might be
song.
my favorite. I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite. I need to listen to more stuff.
But like, so they really only have like one album, popular album.
Yeah.
Never mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols, and I like the album, but the problem with it is like I only remember like 4 songs because everything, like you said, everything sounds so similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everything's got like kind of like a similar chord progression, and then
Yeah.
Johnny Rotten saying something like, "I don't care about you." Yeah. Like Bodies really stands out because like the guitar starts off different. And do you know what Bodies is about?
No.
Oh my god, dude!
What's
Look
it
up the
about?
lyrics. Just like I want to see. Get your reaction for the podcast.
I'll read them out loud. Bodies, Sex Pistols.
This song is fucking raw, dude.
Okay. Lyrics. I'll read them. Okay. Bodies by the Sex Pistols. She was a girl from Birmingham. She just had an abortion. She was case of insanity. Her name was Pauline. She lived in a tree. She was a no one who killed her baby. She sent her letter from the country. She was an animal. She was a bloody disgrace. Body, I'm not an animal. Body, I'm not an animal. Dragged on a table in a factory. Illegitimate place to be in a packet. In a lavatory. Die little baby screaming. Body screaming. Fucking bloody mess. Not an animal. It's an abortion. Holy shit. Body, I'm not an animal. Mommy, I'm not an abortion. Throbbing squirm. Gurgling bloody mess. I'm not a discharge. I'm not a loss in protein. I'm not a throbbing squirm. Fuck this and fuck that. Fuck it all and fuck the fucking brat. She don't want a baby that looks like that. I don't want a baby that looks like that. Body, I'm not an animal. Body, an abortion. Body, all right, then it keeps going. Mommy, ugh. Those are cool lyrics.
Those are pretty good. Like, it's like a good song. I mean, it's out there, like on purpose, kind of.
I like the way it's structured. I like.
It sounds
cool
good
lyrics.
though too.
Yeah.
Like if you know the lyrics and you're like hearing the song, you're like, okay.
I'm not a discharge.
It's not just like my favorite Sex Pistols song because it's like edgy. Like
Yeah.
I like the way it sounds, you know.
One thing I like about lyrics is like they'll give you different concepts and ideas. Like, you know, you can imagine her like giving herself an abortion, killing her own baby.
Yeah.
But they're not like straight up telling you that. You know, it's like they're giving you a lot of clues as to what's happening.
It's like they hint to it first.
Yeah, they
you know?
really like really strongly hint to it. You know. Okay.
I like her name was Pauline and she lived in a tree. Like I guess like Johnny Rotten knew this lady who just like had a bunch of abortions
Interesting.
and they like wrote the song about her.
That sounds cool.
And then like a bunch of people tried to say it was like a pro-life song, and then Johnny Rodden's
Whoa.
like, "You fucking morons." And he didn't say it was like a pro-choice or a pro-life song. It's just like songs like that are interesting. Then they had this song called "Belson Was a Gas." I don't really care for it.
Was a gas.
It's basically just like a song about like, it's like an edgy song about the Holocaust. I don't really like that one, but Bodies is like, it works, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I hear Bodies, like I think of Sid Vicious, because Sid Vicious is kind of like an abortion. You know, like he's
Yeah.
like he like conducts himself like an animal.
Yeah.
You know,
And he died at what, like 22?
21, dude. Like he was
21.
like our age.
Jesus.
Like holy shit. That is one thing. I don't like how they didn't show his death. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like I know there's taste, but like, I don't know. I almost feel like they should have showed him like, had like a scene where he ODs. That might be in poor taste, but I feel the movie feels a little incomplete without it.
I
It
can see
probably
that.
is in poor taste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was I feel a bit conflicted about the ending. Not the ending, like just like the third act. You know, I've already talked about it a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, the beginning's strong. I really like the beginning. The first act is pretty strong. Second act is also pretty strong. I like how it sets up the relationship.
She says he's the Sex Pistols.
Yeah,
That's a good line.
Like you really see like it's like weird. It's almost like I hate Nancy, but I still like her. You know, she's so charming, and she's like charming and like
Yeah.
how like
She's interesting.
like almost like how like she wears her heart on her sleeve. You know what I mean? Like she's very
Yeah.
honest. She's just
Yeah.
so honest. It's like she's very charming and like how like when she's really happy, she's really happy. And then when she wants to goof off, she wants to goof off. But it's like when she wants to manipulate Sid Vicious, she fucking manipulates Sid Vicious in front of everybody.
she's not like a fake person.
And sometimes she is like, but
Well-
it's like I mean, it's not like she's a fake person. It's you're right. She's not. It's not like she's a fake person, but it's like the scene where she's like Johnny is the Sex Pistols is like that's so misguided and like.
But I think that's true.
You know, it's like so misguided. It's like so, and it's so selfish to say.
It's very selfish, but like when you think of the Sex Pistols, who do you think of?
yeah, like Sid Vicious.
And when you think of Sid Vicious, who do you think of? Well, you think of Sid Vicious, but you
Yeah.
also like they're synonymous basically.
yeah.
You know, like Johnny Ron was like a character too, but he's nothing like Sid Vicious, who was just like fucking heroin addict probably from like the time he was like 14 or something,
and he-
just like fucking partier, and he dies.
still alive. Yeah.
You know, like they're both like what make each other famous.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Sex Pistols were what gave Sid Vicious an outlet,
Mhm.
but then Sid Vicious kind of like amplifies them just because he's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard the story about when they were recording the album?
Nah.
He was only the bass player on Bodies because he was in the hospital with hepatitis
Yeah.
from like fucking like shooting up all the time.
Apparently, he also like sucked at bass, right?
Yeah, he
Like,
was
he's-
garbage.
He's fucking like trash.
I like that scene where Nancy's like, he practices all the time.
Yeah.
She's trying to get him to gig.
Oh man, or when he shows up to the gig all fucked up.
Oh god.
That part's I got secondhand embarrassment from that.
Fucking yeah, that's cool when a movie can make you feel like embarrassed.
Mhm.
Like, oh shit. Like
Right.
makes you feel uncomfortable in that
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah, it was a good, well done scene though. But yeah,
Um,
the first act is good. I like all the mosh pit scenes. I like the first mosh pit scene where it's like he goes up on stage for the first time. He's like, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't fucking like he's trying to plug in the bass.
Oh,
And it's like it doesn't fucking work.
He's
And
so
he's
fucked up.
he's just like up there like fucking like he jumps in the crowd and shit.
Doesn't he get in a fight with someone kind of? Someone's
don't
like
know.
saying shit to him and he's
Maybe.
like, we're the Sex Pistols or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget that. I think he just jumps in the crowd and then Nancy's kind of watching him.
Okay.
And there's a lot of scenes where like they're kind of watching each other. I really like that.
It feels very like of the time.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they say they get married and they're in that phone booth and she's like begging her family for money.
That part was funny.
Nah, dude, I didn't think it was funny.
The last line, she's all like, "Yeah, she thinks we're gonna use the money to buy drugs,"
Oh,
and he's
okay,
like,
yeah.
yeah, we were gonna use the money to buy drugs."
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. But it's like that's like something that would happen back then. Like from
Yeah.
people in that scene, it's like they leave their family and become like drug addicts, and then like when they're calling them, their family knows it's not genuine.
Yeah, that's a big thing I notice in punk movies. Is like a lot of the punk movies I see, they've been rejected by their family.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's such being a punk back then is like really weird.
It's like an outcast,
yeah,
basically. Like,
you're an outcast.
it's like how the Amish like shun people.
yeah.
Like if your like family member, like your daughter became like a punk rocker, like you kind of shun them.
Yeah.
And then she fucking like breaks the window.
Yeah, she
That
fucking.
scene's
Yeah, I
intense.
wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting her to fucking shove her hand through the glass.
There's a lot about this movie that I forget, and I think it's just because like you watch the movie in a way for like Sid Vicious, and it is repetitive in the way that like he does shit over and over again.
Mhm.
Like he's always getting high and fucked up and like fucking shit up. But that's the way like Sid Vicious was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the whole movie's just like a tone of Sid Vicious.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, like when you first, that's how the movie feels. Like when you learn about Sid Vicious, like, oh, he's so cool, but then you realize like, oh, he's like kind of a shitty person. You know, he really let himself go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the movie felt. Like at the beginning when you see all this happening, right? You see Sid Vicious, like, wow, he's just not even like he's cool. It's like just really just like entertaining to watch.
He has like no virtues.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to be around him.
Nah.
Like I wouldn't even want to meet him.
Yeah, I mean, because it seems like he would just like spit on you, you know.
He'd like shit in front of you or
Yeah.
something and look at it and say like, you like the way that smells. Like that's
Yeah.
the type of person he is. Like I wouldn't want to be like him.
No.
You know, like there's like some rock stars.
There's aspects of him that are like.
You think he has like virtuous aspects?
No, there's like aspects in like I guess how he can a little bit in how he conducts himself, you know, like very just like he doesn't care about what other people think, you know. He's he understands who he is. I mean, it's not really he understands who he is. It's like he is who he is, you know. And it's hard to meet people like that.
He's like so lost.
Yeah, it's
like there's
a little
no
bit
way he can
complicated.
recover. Like they even go to like the methadone clinic. Alex Cox said like the methadone clinic scene's like the most important scene because like the guy basically tells him like, you guys gotta get straight.
Yeah,
I don't really feel like that scene had too much.
I wasn't really paying attention
Like
too much to that scene.
importance.
Yeah.
The whole movie, like
I was just gonna say I liked how the set in that office. It was really like shitty looking.
really.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I don't remember much about like
It was really dark.
the production design there, but like it was like really like punk looking kind of.
Yeah, for like an
Yeah.
office, it was like still kind of punk looking.
It was like a punk rock like methadone clinic.
yeah, it was really cool.
It's like in a way the movie doesn't have too much like memorable about it because it is like the same thing over and over again, but it's good.
Yeah,
Like I really enjoyed it.
it did get a bit repetitious for me. No, I mean I didn't feel repetitious. I don't like when I think of this movie, I didn't feel like, oh, it's a really repetitive movie. But it's like it after like, you know, when I mean it's difficult to talk about because it's like I don't know.
It's the
I feel
same
conflicted.
thing.
It's like the same thing. Yeah, like when you first meet Sid Vicious and you see the relationship. Like God, the scene where like he follows her outside of the club and she's like crying and he's like, you know, what's the matter? He's like, oh, this guy owes me money. It's like I really liked that interaction. I really enjoyed how it felt.
Yeah.
You know, I even like the scene where he's like he waits outside the fucking pub through the fucking rain waiting for her. It's like it's such a good like almost innocent scene.
He gave
you
her
know?
money, right?
He gave her a fuck ton of money. Yeah.
Oh, and to buy drugs, and she's
Yeah,
like,
she
"Fuck
didn't come
you."
back, yeah.
Like that's like one thing too. Like, there's like this. I think like the tagline for the movie's "Love Kills." Is the movie really going for like love though between them? Like it's called Sid and Nancy, so to like some degree, it's kind of like, oh, like they're like a Romeo and Juliet of like the punk scene type of thing, like destined lovers who are destined to like die. I don't really see like love though between them.
I can
Cause like they're both just like byproducts of like the shittiest part of being like a punk rocker.
it's so then you have to really dissect the relationship, or at least how the movie presents the relationship. I don't know how it was in reality, but the way this movie presents it, it almost seems like Nancy was like the one who kind of pulled Sid Vicious down with her. Like she's not really talented. She doesn't really do anything.
She's just like a whore basically.
Yeah, and she got Sid into heroin, right? And then from then on, like there's a few scenes where it's like she's almost arguing on Sid's behalf. And it's like, that's like almost toxic, you know. It's it's almost like I see
it's
her.
definitely toxic.
Yeah, it's definitely toxic. So it's almost like how much of it is Nancy's fault? You know, how much of it is Sid's fault? I'm sure there was genuine attraction there, but I'm sure it definitely evolved into like this like partnership in like in pursuing heroin, you know, like they both depend on each other for like experiencing heroin.
Yeah, they're addicts, and like it's almost like I feel if they lived longer, they would have just broke up.
I could see that. Yeah,
and it's like if Sid Vicious was still alive, he'd just like tell stories like I had a bunch of girlfriends, and Like they'd ask him what were their names, like, oh, one of them was named Nancy, one of them was named this.
But she was around like all the time though.
She was, or I feel it like be like if Sid Vicious like killed her but like lived later on, he'd be like, yeah, there was that one girl Nancy. Like there isn't like anything very special about their relationship. Like I think that's like the theme. I don't think it's like a fault in the movie, but it's like maybe it's just like mismarketing, because it's like,
or maybe they just didn't understand the relationship.
The movie isn't a romance. Like I
kind of see it as a romance a little bit.
I don't think it goes down the romance. For me, it doesn't. I don't know. Let's see what I just want to see if IMDb says it's a romance.
Oh, for sure. I see it as like a romance.
Wikipedia says it's a biography.
Yeah, totally.
It's definitely a biopic. But
Yeah.
Sid and Nancy. Okay, romance is like the last thing they call it. It only has a 7.0 on IMDb.
Interesting.
This movie's like really good though. Like I feel like I'm kind of shitting on it, but I really enjoyed it. Like
yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Like the visual stuff is really good. Like when he like carves Nancy into his fucking chest.
Oh man,
like that's so gnarly.
Oh, that one scene where all the girls are watching him fucking cut himself.
Yeah, that's such a Sid Vicious thing.
Oh, dude, that scene made me squirm.
It does. Yeah. It's gross, dude.
Yeah.
Like razor blades too. Like
yeah, those fuck with me so hard, man.
Yeah.
Needles, razor blades, that shit fucks with me bad.
Needles are bad, but razor blades, like
razor blades are way worse. 100%.
When I was a little kid, I cut myself with a razor blade.
How'd that go?
I was fucking stupid. Like I picked it up, and I've like heard. I was like in like 3rd grade. I'd heard what a razor blade was, but I didn't know what it looked like. And I grabbed up like a razor blade, and I just went like that to my hand. And I'm like, oh shit, that hurts. Like it was really stupid. Yeah. I didn't like hurt myself, but
elementary schoolers.
Maybe I just have like some childhood trauma from that. You know? Where I work, there's a fucking razor blade lying in like the manager's office, and it kind of bugs me.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just on the floor, and I'm like, yeah.
Razor blades are great for cutting stuff. Obviously, we got knives at the auto shop, and they have razor blades in them, and they're great.
You use them to like cut We use them to cut boxes.
Cardboard boxes. Yeah. That's what we do too.
Yeah. Razor blades.
Yeah.
There's like
that part when he goes to America. I mean, the razor blade part is cool, but I mean the whole thing when he goes to America, it's a good like lull almost. You know, it's a good moment for like the audience to like reel back. It's even like a good like environment change too, because it's like we go from like London like streets, like really compact areas, alleyways and stuff, to like when they show us that we're in America, that's like they're literally on like a highway in like the fucking Midwest or some shit in a bus.
Yeah,
you know, it's a big environment change. And then and that's also when we get to see them separate for the first time since the beginning.
Oh yeah, like she's like kind of freaking out too.
Yeah,
like she's not with her.
She was really trying to like. It was almost like a divorce in a way. It was like she was really trying to argue for custody over Sid Vicious, and the Sex Pistols were like, well, we need him to come with us
because he's like the band.
Yeah.
I like that part where they're in the car and that one guy comes up and is like, I think I wrote a punk rock song. And he's like, what's he say? Like, I don't want my job. I don't want my job. I don't want my job. It's like almost like a 60s song. It'd be like something written by like Joan Baez or something.
Was it like the really Capella sounding song?
Yeah. Or he's like just like singing it, and like Johnny Rotten's like, that's really good, man. And then the guy's like, really? I just like I found that funny.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
It's weird though, because like maybe I just like forget some of it because I was high, but like I did enjoy watching it a lot, but I don't have like too much to say about it.
Yeah, because it's not like a story. It's like it actually happened, you know.
It's just like
imagine you made your own Sid Vicious character. Imagine Sid Vicious never existed. You make this punk rocker dude. He sucks, like he fucking sucks, but he's so cool that he's the face of the band.
Yeah.
You would end that story in a totally different way, because it ends in like it's so anticlimactic for me. You know, it's like I know what's gonna happen
when the taxi drives off, and then it's like Sid Vicious died. I'm like, you didn't fucking do that. You fucking bitch. I was mad.
Really?
Like I said, like I feel they should have done something with like Sid Vicious dying. And I think Alex Cox even said like they probably didn't because it's in poor taste. And maybe I'm like immoral because that is in poor taste.
I would almost I don't care too much about seeing him die. I mean, it would be cool to have, I guess, but it's like I think to show him die, I would almost like have that scene and then cut to like his fucking like his limp fucking dead over. How'd he die?
Yeah.
I would just cut to like his body and how how pathetic he looks.
I mean, I think the way he died, like he OD'd on heroin, but his mom found him.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that would really suck.
Like I would just cut
Yeah.
to that, like like
Not
the taxi
him-
drives away, and then all of a sudden it's like the mom opens the door and it's like his son and like this really just like
Not just the taxi driving away. Like, I don't get that.
that didn't bother me too much, honestly. Because I like the scene. I like that scene where it's like he's walking with his trench coat. It's really moody. I liked how moody it was. Like you can tell. Like I had a lot of thoughts watching that scene. It's like him just walking in a trench coat.
I like when he dances with the kids.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked when
Yeah.
he dances with the kids. Like that's just such a fun scene.
I just something about them driving off in the taxi. Like, I feel like that's some wasted potential. That
Yeah,
is
it's a little bit lazy. They could have done a little more. I mean,
It's like some magical realism shit in like a movie that doesn't need it.
so the other scene that reminded me of was the one where he's on the stage. I don't know, was that an actual music video they made where he's singing I did it
Something
my
else.
way?
Oh,
I did it my
the music's
way.
definitely dubbed.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was.
Like,
100%, yeah.
That's
that-
a real song though.
Did they shoot that music video for real, or was that just for this movie? Was that like a real music video?
Oh, I know they made a music video for it because they made like this mockumentary on the Sex Pistols. That's where like something else comes from.
The fuck is that noise?
Uh-oh.
No, not that.
Uh-oh.
Not that video.
My life's gonna change.
God damn it! When did we up with this thing?
Yeah, this movie's hard to talk about because like really the whole thing about the movie is like Sid Vicious is like a junkie. But he's like interesting to watch. And
Okay,
the
yeah. So
performance-
it was a fucking thing. It was a video.
Oh, okay, yeah. I really like that scene. That's very very visual. What do you think when he shoots him?
I liked it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was a real thing. Yeah.
I like the way he sings.
Yeah, I liked it too.
He's so
did it my way. I like how he's saying it. Like
he's so
he
fucked
says it
up.
like such a druggy. You know.
Oh, that's like a no. That has to be staged. They do look like if Sid Vicious got older, like him and Gary Oldman, they would have like some similarities. The movie did make this scene look better too, with like the
It was
stairs.
way cleaner. Yeah. Yeah.
And I like how like Nancy walks up almost like they're getting married.
I'll talk about that in a
Oh,
second.
okay,
yeah.
okay. I like how he makes that thing with his face, like the yeah.
That's like his signature. Yeah.
Oh, they did that shot in the movie, didn't they?
Did they?
Where like the camera like rotates around him.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So this is like a music video. Yeah.
That guy's like, what the fuck am I watching? I wonder what my grandma would think about Sid Vicious. Oh, this is definitely definitely a music video.
Yeah, because those are like super stage reactions.
Yeah.
This isn't like a live performance.
Does he shoot them in this?
We're about to find out.
We should almost do a commentary track for this movie. Like, there's more you'd talk about when you're watching it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Funny Games deserves it because it's like philosophical. This deserves it just because like you're not gonna remember every little like cool thing.
This song sounds so good as like a punk song too.
Oh, yeah.
This is great.
Well, a song called like My Way, that's like fucking punk. That's super punk. Oh. Oh shit! I thought that was just in the movie.
No.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? They did this shit in the 70s. You can't do that now. What the fuck?
That's funny.
I thought that was just for the movie.
That's so funny. I like that.
Wow.
Look at this. He throws up. He gives him a peace sign after he fucking slaughters him. What a pimp, dude.
You can't even do that in 1970s.
Fucking.
In the 70s. How the fuck were they able to get away with that?
It was the 70s. And then it was British. They were British. They didn't have school
Okay,
shootings.
yeah,
They didn't have
yeah.
school shootings, mass shootings.
Yeah, that's fair. But still, that's still pretty provocative.
It was punk.
See, that's like, yeah.
So all right, so okay, so that brings us back to the movie scene. Right, so the movie scene, they redid this. They did all.
Yeah,
of that.
they did.
They did it a little bit differently. So they had in the audience some of the members of the band, right, and they had Nancy in the audience.
Nancy's definitely there.
Yeah, and they also have Nancy go up onto the stage with Sid Vicious. So I was watching that scene, and I was really thinking about why they did that. I don't know why they did that. Actually, I might know why. It's such an artsy scene. It really takes the whole movie takes a detour basically to show us this music video, and they redid the music video to have Nancy go up on the stage, and it's almost like scenes like that. So that scene and the one with the taxi. The taxi car driving off. Those scenes are literally just like tributes to the idea of what their relationship was. It's literally just like let's just like I can see for some alt punk girl who's like she loves Sid Vicious. Let's say this movie was never made. I could see her like writing fanfic of like the music video like that. You know, the way they did in the movie. Like that's such like a fan fiction type thing.
He shoots the bourgeois and then he like marries her.
Yeah, it's like that's such a fan fiction-y type thing, you know.
That's kind of like the symbolic like marriage type of thing. I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that. The whole taxi thing though, it's like
the taxi thing was a bit like
I don't think they love each other. And it's like
so like I don't know if they love each other, but it definitely felt like they really stuck it through, you know.
Yeah,
they really stuck it through.
Even
though
they
were
stuck it through, but it's not like it's like almost I see the ending like sort of like the movie saying, okay, now they both go to heaven together because they were like soulmates. I don't see them as soulmates though. Like I don't think he loves her, and I don't think she really loves him.
Yeah, they were a bit of a weird fit, right? It's like
if they both like
Willie's about to do something. Okay, good. He didn't pull on the wire. I thought he was going to.
If they like didn't become infamous because of their deaths, they would have like broke up, and then it would have just been like something you read on Wikipedia, like, oh, they used to date each other.
Yeah,
like they didn't love each other.
I could see
opinion.
Sid like not marrying her.
Oh no,
or like marrying her and then getting a divorce.
Yeah, like
personality-wise, it's like they're so there's. I mean, they were gonna. I mean, obviously they were doomed to die, but it's like their personalities are so destructive. You know, even if they didn't die, it seems like that relationship.
They're not made for like stability.
No,
like,
no, they were not made for stability. And Nancy really kind of like how Sid Vicious like really multiplied the Sex Pistols, like Nancy really multiplied Sid Vicious.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how the movie made it seem.
They do fit together for that regard, and like how
Yeah.
extreme they
Yeah,
both are.
they fit in how like destructive they were. They really
Like-
brought out the best, and like they brought like if you, like, oh, there's people who bring out the best in you. It's like she brought out the best in like how destructive he was, or like he brought out the worst.
Yeah,
in him, I guess
it
She brought out
made
the
each
worst.
other like you said, like exponential factor of like
Yeah.
being Sid Vicious.
Mhm.
You know, I read something where it's like, or it's on the DVD. They say they called him Sid Vicious because he was kind of like a gentle guy.
Really?
I mean, for all the shit people say about like, oh, they never talked to me. Oh, I did talk to him. I don't know how true it is, but I don't know. It
Good soundtrack though. Whenever they use any
Oh,
of the Sex
yeah.
Pistols music,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool scene, cool scene,
Yeah.
cool scene. Mosh pits. I already said the mosh pits.
they did Anarchy in the UK, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did. They should have.
I almost want to watch this movie like again though, and it's not even because like I was high. Like even if I wasn't high, I'd like want to watch this again.
Oh yeah,
You know, like I really dig this movie.
it's a cool movie.
You know, it's
Yeah.
almost like I could almost like sit back and watch this,
Yeah.
even though it's like I said, it's pretty intense. Like I don't know, like I'm into Sid Vicious and that type of idea, and like
Yeah.
watching him, even though he's like kind of a shit person.
Yeah,
Like no disrespect to Sid Vicious, but I mean,
I almost wish this movie was less about the relationship,
and more like Sid.
more Sid, and more like the band. I guess
It'd be cooler if it was
more
just
more
called
just
Sid.
more like just the scene.
Yeah,
I
that's
want to see
true.
more of the scene, because it would be cool to like have Sid Vicious die and then just show like what happens to the scene. What happened.
It'd be cool if the movie was like it was about punk, and then you see like Sid Vicious die too.
Yeah.
It's almost like they could have made like a series about punk rock from that time,
hmm
and then one of the episodes is just Sid Vicious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I would still make it a movie. I mean I wouldn't.
but
make the movie,
still, but like, no, I see what you mean.
yeah.
It's so weird too. Like, this movie's good, and Alex Cox didn't like make too many more movies after
Oh,
this.
he didn't. What was? So he made Repo Man. This movie.
He made this movie called Walker. It was like a box office failure.
Oh shit.
And then he never really made another Sid and Nancy or Repo Man movie.
Oh, that sucks.
So
Yeah, of the punk movies I've seen, this is probably one of the best made ones. So I've seen this one, Suburbia, SLC, Repo Man, SLC Punk.
SLC Punk.
What else?
Is that Richard Linklater?
I don't think so. It has Matthew Illiard, the dude who
Oh,
plays
yeah,
the dude who
yeah,
plays
yeah.
Shaggy. He does a good job.
Shaggy.
Yeah, he did play Shaggy. He did a good job. That movie's pretty good too.
We need to see Decline of the Western Civilization.
Yeah, we should see that.
Oh, and we need to watch the Gigi Allen story
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
at some point.
Okay. Well, are we missing anything else?
Like I said, like the movie is just Sid Vicious basically, and like Nancy Spungen just like being junkies.
Yeah.
But it's fun, you know. It's like a good movie.
it's a fun movie. Well,
It
the beginning's fun. The beginning's a lot of fun. The beginning's so good, dude. I really like the first act, and like certain portions of the second act are really just like I really like the energy. I really just.
Oh
like
yeah,
how
the
it
movie's like
felt.
energetic all the way through.
Yeah.
Fun isn't the right way to say it. It's like fun, but like a negative fun.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a fuck it kind of fun.
Yeah, because you know, like the shit that's happening to him too is like fucked up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, who do you think does Sid Vicious better, Sid Vicious or Gary Oldman?
I mean, Sid Vicious. I mean,
Gary Oldman kind of gives him a run for the money in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's a stupid
funny.
thing to ask, but like Gary Oldman fucking goes like balls to the wall.
Yeah, he did a great
know?
job. Yeah.
Like I'd say I'd put on a list of like
better Sid Vicious.
like I'd put on a list of like favorite performances of
all
mine.
they needed to make the only thing that they needed to make him more Sid Vicious is like, is there ever a part in the movie where he's wearing a swastika?
No, but I feel like there's like some Jew jokes made or something.
Maybe.
It's definitely within their realm,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like they were anti everything.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like anti-fascism, anti-Nazi, anti-Jew. Like that's like their personality. Just like fuck everyone.
yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
Punks aren't really like that anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
changed.
kinda
The punks are
shifted.
like PC now.
there are still some punks who are just like fuck everything, but those ones are like they're not as
They're not
yeah,
popular.
they're not popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see them
the culture's changed dramatically.
nowadays. Punks
yeah.
are really like liberal. which is unfortunate. That's
they've always been liberal, but it's like.
But back then, being liberal was going against the grain, you know.
It's like the principle back then was kind of like fuck everyone and everything, and now the principle is not that.
Yeah,
it's more like it's almost like a respect thing now.
Yeah, it's
That's
what do you
mean
it's a respect thing?
It's almost like fuck everything because everything's against like the poor man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
it's like, have you seen like those like political compass memes where it's like lib left is like the punk rock dude?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. People are always concerned about like what the counterculture is right now. I genuinely think counterculture right now is like,
it used to be gamer.
That's gamer's kind of dying
now.
A little bit. Now I think it's just gonna be
centrist.
Yeah.
Centrist is definitely like in the mix.
Yeah, middle is like, it depends on who you're talking to.
Because counterculture isn't like MAGA.
No. There are people who said, "Oh, the conservatives are the new counterculture."
No,
there are aspects of it that are, but
not
all of them. Like, that's stupid. If you think that,
I don't.
Liberals definitely are not the counterculture.
No,
anymore.
liberals
No.
are like the prominent
no.
thing now.
No,
not even like radical liberals.
I would say probably the counterculture right now is probably like hardcore, like meme culture. Like like hardcore memes.
Yeah, memes and shit.
Like
yeah.
the dank shit. I don't mean like generic shit. I mean like, I was talking to Mikey about this on like I forget which wizard. I think it was 47. But it's like Reddit and 4chan. Like, you got some fucking nerds on there, but like 4chan is like the closest you could get to being on the edge of like the safe side of the internet, you know, like not going to the dark side or like going to gore. But like but still being like a normal sort of.
It's fucked up for normal internet, but it's like tame for the dark web.
Yeah, but like that's 4chan is like the closest to the edge you can get. Just before that is like Reddit, you know, and then like after that it's like Instagram, Snapchat, and then like Facebook is like the most normie shit you can have.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook is the most normie shit. But like 4chan is the closest to the edge, and I was talking to Mikey about it. I was like, I feel like 4chan is like where meme culture is like decided, because like 4chan is like in it. 4chan is like deep internet,
and then
shit.
Everything comes up from that, but like in like a divisive version.
Yeah, I feel like
kind of
4chan is like the origin of like a lot of meme like trends and stuff.
It's like there's 4chan, which is pure, and then Reddit is like 4chan divided by 2.
Yeah.
And then Instagram's like Reddit divided by 4.
And then it gets more like normie and mainstream the further up you go.
And then like Facebook's like 4chan divided by like 256.
4chan is so fucking raw that I don't even like to use it. You know, it's like it's so like simple and like stupid. Like that's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they have been designed for like to keep you addicted to it. 4chan isn't designed like that. It's literally just like early internet, you know. It's like pure internet shit.
Oh, okay.
So I see that as being like what the counterculture is right now, because like and it's like, it's not even like you're in the middle. It's like you're outside of it. You know, it's like it's like punk, you know. It's like you don't care about anything.
You're off the compass.
Yeah, you're off the compass. Yeah.
That's a very nuanced look at it. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's cool. That's why I like the internet.
Because like
the whole
nothing's like
Wall Street Bets thing.
Conservative and liberal definitely aren't.
I think that shit's like
it's so prominent in like everything that like it can't be.
I see that shit as being like I don't know, like you're a dumb animal and you don't want to think about shit.
You're a dumb animal that doesn't like the other tribe.
Yeah, you just it's like really tribalistic bullshit. I think it's really dumb. I'm so glad I grew up with like South Park and shit.
Yeah. Family Guy.
Yeah. I think that's it for Sid Nancy. What would you rate it out of 10?
I'd give it like a solid 8.
8?
Yeah.
What is that on your scale? Like a B, C?
8 out of 10 is like good.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
B minus.
I'd give it like an A minus.
B plus. So like a B plus, A minus.
I'd give it like an A minus. Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it
maybe 3.5 out of 4. Maybe if I saw it again and really liked it, 4 out of 4.
I would give it like a 7.9 out of 10.
Okay, so like a C plus.
C plus, B minus, yeah. Just because the third act, something happened there.
You just didn't feel it.
It just didn't feel it.
the
It
same.
just started losing the connection with me.
That's fair.
It's like it doesn't have to have the same energy as the beginning, like where it feels like super happy all the time. That's not what I mean. I just mean like my connection to it started to dwindle.
There wasn't an energy.
Yeah, the energy was just like it felt like it felt like they were just like choring their way through it. It's like we got to finish the movie. All right, well, it's just gonna be really sad. It felt like something happened in the production where I just don't connect with it as much. And I don't know if it's just
That might be a script thing almost.
It could be a script thing.
Yeah.
It probably is. It could also. I mean, it could just be maybe with the context, like the real story. How else is it supposed to end? I don't. That's what I could hear them saying. Like, well, what you thought it was gonna be a happy ending?
What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
Sid
it's like, what do
Vicious
you want
comes
me to
back
do?
like.
What do you want me to? Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the photo of? Do they show it in the movie like the photo of Nancy sponging dead?
No.
It's kind of like disturbing.
I'll have to look.
She's
it
just like, it's not like too gory, but she's just slumped over like this, right next to a toilet.
up.
It's gross.
The
dude.
shot they have in there where it shows her dead in the bathroom.
That's pretty.
It's a good shot too, though.
Oh, it looks
It's a really
good,
good
but it's
shot.
also disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, Willie? Like,
All right.
no, I'm really glad we watched it.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
glad I finally got to watch
even though
it,
like
too.
I said like the same shit about it over and over, like it is a good movie. I would even say it's like a really good movie. Like,
Yeah, it was good.
I'm gonna watch it
Good
again.
punk
I'm
movie.
glad I bought the DVD for it. It's not like sometimes where you buy the DVD and they're like, okay, well now this is just part of my collection. Like,
I'm still yet to see a really like great punk movie though.
okay,
Like
we'll need to-
Suburbia kind of hits some of those marks, but again, kind of the third act, towards the end, the energy
I
kind of.
remember getting that from the library, but I never finished it because my mom didn't like. There's like a lot of cursing in it.
Which one?
Suburbia.
Oh, you saw it?
I got it from the library, but I didn't finish it because my mom
Did
didn't.
you watch the beginning? You remember what happened
Yeah,
at the beginning?
but it was like sometime maybe
Oh,
like
man.
it had to be like 5 years
You must have
ago.
really been not paying attention because there's something that happens in the beginning that really shocked me.
It was like 5 years ago
Oh,
though
yeah,
too.
you should watch it again.
Like, isn't Greg Zahn in it? Steve Zahn,
Oh,
the
who's
dad
that?
from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's in it.
He might.
His last
be.
name's
He
Zahn.
He might be. I don't know. He would have been really young in that movie. He would have been one of the punks.
I
maybe.
feel like he had some good lines too.
I don't remember him.
Suburb.
One of the main dudes in that movie, Suburbia, the dude who wears like the beret, that dude's badass. I love that guy.
Wait, is it
Cool
from
character.
1983,
Probably.
or is it the Richard Linklater one?
No, the Richard Linklater one is a totally different one.
Oh shit. Okay, I got the Richard Linklater one.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. No, yeah, Suburbia, the 83 one, the punk one.
Okay, never mind. I've never heard of that. I've never seen. Oh, Thriller. Wow. Penelope Spheris.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the
shit.
dude who did the one thing you want to watch. What's it called?
Decline.
The Decline of the Western
Yeah.
Civilization.
And
whatever.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, and Wayne's World. Yeah, and Wayne's World.
Decline. Have you heard of the Germs?
No,
Oh shit.
that sounds like a cool title.
They're a band.
Oh,
There's some cool shit about the Germs too.
that's such a cool
I don't
name.
know if I want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't.
No, it's just like some history stuff. Like if you find out about it, you're gonna be like, "That's cool as fuck."
I might research them a little bit.
Yeah, like
Pat
the name of the singer was Darby Crash.
Darby Crash.
Cool fucking name. And then the guitar player's name was Pat Smear. Like Pap Smear.
Interesting.
Like Pap
What a-
Smear.
What a weird name.
Do you know Pap Smear?
Mm.
Like you use it at the gynecologist.
Oh no, I didn't know that. What the fuck?
So his name's like a pun on that.
Huh.
But there's some like it's just cool. It's just cool the way shit kind of worked with that. Yeah, we'll see that movie even if we don't talk about it on the podcast.
Okay. All right.
We should at least like bring it up like we did with like
Sure.
Big
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah. Easy.
So
Those
those are our thoughts on
yeah.
Sid and Nancy and funny games.
Hopefully, if you're a filmmaker out there and you're gonna make a punk movie, make it good. Send me a message.
Yeah.
Send me a message.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll support you if it's a good script.
We need to do a commentary for funny games at some point.
That'd be great.
Maybe even
Yeah.
Sid and Nancy, just because I feel like
I would
there's
want to
some
do.
stiff.
I would want to do funny games first.
Funny games like needs it. Sid
Yeah.
and Nancy would almost be like
Funny games is
Yeah.
like an obligation.
funny game. Yeah, you owe it to yourself if you like really like think about like movies, kind of like artsy movies.
Yeah.
I think
All right. So
that
if you-
sounds
so if
pretentious,
you-
but like,
a little bit.
but
whatever.
still.
All right, if you made it this far in, good job. We're gonna. I would say I definitely liked funny games more than Sid and Nancy. Just
I mean,
just cause. I mean, if you listened this far, you know why.
Sid and Nancy's probably one of the best movies I've seen this year, though. like 2021.
Yeah, but it's so early on.
But still, like I've seen like some good movies this year. Like I've seen like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Rashomon.
Oh, you like it more than The Good, the Bad, the Ugly?
I think so, cause like I connect with that more. Like I'm not Quentin Tarantino. I wasn't born in like fucking the 60s. I mean, like Sid and Nancy. Like, I mean, I like really like Nirvana, and then like Sid and Nancy's almost like what inspired
like the precursor.
Kurt Cobain kind of. So
yeah,
I connect with it more.
It's I really like the mosh pits. I'm not gonna.
The mosh pit, yeah.
I don't want to say what I already said. I liked some of the punk aspects. I wish there was more stuff like that out. You know, I wish
we need to look for more of that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of stuff in mainstream. But anyways, yeah, watch Funny Games if you're a filmmaker or if you like getting mad, and watch Sid Nancy if you like getting punk stuff or like grunge stuff, or just like weird.
It's also people. A good movie though.
Yeah,
I like what. If you like early Roger Deakins, Gary Oldman,
there you go, yeah.
Alex Cox.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
I was going to say, this is one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like the first one was Houseu and Perfect Blue. The second episode was pretty cool with Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorites.
Episode 3 with Naked and Assassination
Naked
Nation.
Was awesome.
Even Color Out of Space. And it was the first guest.
Oh man, Mandy was
Anthony
so good.
Too.
The Mandy
yeah,
was
the Mandy
great.
one.
I think we've had at least one really good movie.
Oh yeah, one every time.
Except for like Houseu and Perfect Blue.
I really liked Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue is good, but I didn't connect with it as much as like
it wasn't special.
Eyes Wide Shut, Naked, Mandy.
The best ones.
Those ones are really good. And Funny Games now. Funny Games is sick.
That was a really good discussion. I want to talk with Anthony about Funny Games now.
Yeah,
too.
I'm gonna have to talk to him too. I wonder what he thinks about it.
Josh has seen Funny Games.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah.
What did he say about it when you talked to him about it?
Well, he was like, I think that's what got him into Michael Haneke.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, when you see his other movies, just like more think like, real theme based.
Okay.
Kind of slow moving but theme based. They're not like meta like this, but they're good.
All right.
Really good. I really love the way he directs stuff.
Yeah, he did a good job.
And then last episode was, fuck.
That was oh fuck, I forgot.
No, we can remember.
It was 5.
It's the wax pen. It was fun. Oh, Border and
Border,
Pashot.
yeah, Border Pashot. Pashot was cool.
Fucking Pashot.
Yeah, Pashot was good.
Great.
Yeah,
I like Pashot. Yeah, we've always gotten at least one good one on here.
I feel like Pashot would have been so cool if they had some punk stuff in there.
Yeah, but still, like, it's that fucking Brazilian culture, dude.
Yeah. There's that one band that they have in Pashot, the one band part.
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
It kind of feels punk. It's not punk, but it
reminds me of like Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next picks. So I picked first. You picked first last time, so I get to pick first.
All right, I'm gonna do something different with my pick this time.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
That's fine. Okay, let me see this. There we go. Movies. I added some new ones on here.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
God damn. Fuck. Funny Games, dude. That movie gives me a boner.
I found this movie called Ben X.
Ben X.
I'll look it up, dude. This is all right. Wait. Don't look it up.
Okay.
Let me read you the log line. This log line is incredible.
Did you like Funny Games, Willie?
Didn't watch it. Is this one?
You remember the scene where the dog falls out of the thing? Oh, that looks good.
All right, listen to this. As an alternative to getting bullied at school, an autistic teenager retreats into the world of online role-playing games. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
Probably shouldn't be on being recorded saying something in regards to that.
I'm not.
That's such a funny log.
I'm not saying he's. I'm not saying autistic as like a slur. It's just that's the log line for this movie. It got a 7.4 out of 10.
Who directed it? Just by any chance?
Nick Balthazar.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
How many people have seen it?
18,000.
Okay, so it's like relatively like
it's kind of well known, I guess.
It's yeah.
I got another movie on here called Ratcatcher.
Oh, fucking Lynn Ramsey. She did We Need to Talk About Kevin, You Were Never Really Here.
Oh, really?
First movie, I think.
Was it really?
Cool poster.
Is it this one?
Is it 1999?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
it looked
about.
cool. Yeah, it looked cool.
Lynn Ramsey always gives you something interesting.
I have Kess.
Kess?
Kes.
Kess?
Yeah, let me look that up. It looked interesting.
What the fuck?
Look at this.
I always like the movies you like. You always find shit that I don't really look for. I appreciate that so much. Oh, that like reminds me of Pashot.
A young
1969?
A young English working class boy spends his free time caring for and training his pet Kestrel. I'm not sure if is that the same one I was looking at. I don't think it's the same one I was looking at.
Ken Loach. He's pretty popular, I think.
Oh, it may have been. Let me see. Let me go back.
Those actually don't look. It doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look that bad. I would still watch this. I'm not sure if it's the same one though. Oh, whatever. I guess it was.
This is a pretty fun part of the podcast.
Yeah, I like this part. This is one of my favorite parts.
This is my favorite part. Not talking about the movies we recommended, but just recommending one next time.
So yeah, Kes. We have Kes. Have you ever heard of Lilia Forever?
I don't think so.
I think this is the one I'm confusing it with.
Lilia Forever.
Oh fuck! Come on. Is that it?
Oh, what the fuck? Forever.
16-year-old Lilia and her only friend, the young boy, live in Russia, fantasizing about a better life. One day, Lilia falls in love with Andre, who's going to Sweden, and invites Lilia to come along and start a new life. Okay, that's still not the movie I was thinking of.
Who directed it?
Let me see.
Oh, some
Lucas Moodysson.
Moodysson.
Look at the pictures. Still not quite the movie I was thinking of, but still looks cool. Like,
Yeah.
look at some of these shots. They
Yeah.
look cool.
Did we see the trailer for this or no?
I don't think so. Russian. Wait, what movie am I thinking of?
What's it about?
Is it Alice in the Cities?
Alice in the Cities.
Oh, my back. Could it be? What is this one? Oh, this one looks cool. Not the one I'm thinking of. A German journalist is saddled with a 9-year-old after encountering her mother at a New York airport.
Oh, what the fuck?
By this dude named Wim Wenders.
Wim Wenders. He directed Paris, Texas.
No fucking way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I might choose this. Look at this poster.
He
That
did
looks
Wings
so
of Desire.
So neat.
Pretty sure he... Here, just look up his filmography just to make sure it's him.
It probably
Pretty
is.
sure.
Dude, Paris, Texas is so fucking. Oh man. Yeah, he did. He did do it. Wow. That's crazy.
Wim Wenders.
Wim Wenders. I'm not gonna say anything new about Paris, Texas.
Yeah, I know. I'm stupid. I watched like the first 5 minutes and then I just never got watched the first 5 minutes, then never got around to finishing it.
Is it this one? Did I not write this down?
Alice in the Cities.
Show me.
Show me the money.
Show me love. Was it this one? Oh yeah, it was this one. 2 teenage girls in a small town,
What the
Sweden. Ellen is beautiful, popular, and bored with life. Agnes is friendless, sad, and secretly in love with Ellen.
Who directed that?
Uh,
Oh, that was the guy who directed.
Lucas Moodysson. Same guy. So I must have been looking through his filmography, and I chose
Okay.
both of these.
What made you look at this one?
Look at the poster,
Fucking.
and just look at some of the some of the shots. Like some of the shots, like this reminds me of Kids a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Like just lots of people, lots of young people.
I like the lighting in some of them. It's kind of
Yeah.
like orange.
Clearly like a lesbian looking.
Oh,
movie.
okay. I need to see more LGBT movies.
Yeah, I just it reminded me of Kids when I saw something like a
Something like that looks like it'd be in Kids.
yeah, like an LGBTQ Kids.
Yeah.
is what it looks like to me.
Is Kid? No, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I could see it
Let
though.
me see. I have other movies on here. The Cranes Are Flying.
Oh, that's a Russian movie, 1957.
1957. I must have thought.
I think it won like the Palme d'Or.
Oh, did it really?
Tarkovsky said something about that movie.
The Savage Eye.
I haven't heard of that one.
1959. So it's also old. I Stole a Million. Pusher.
Pusher's Winding Refn.
Yeah. Road Trip. And Suicide Club, which Anthony Lee recommended to me.
I Stole a Million. That's from like the 30s.
Why did I put that on here?
92 views.
Oh shit. Why did I put that on here? The Grizzly King. I have no idea why I put this on here. Let me see. The Savage Eye. That sounds cool. Oh, you know what? I think I must have saw it. I must have saw it in the library.
Oh, okay.
It's the Savage Eye. I thought the poster looked really cool, actually. Yeah, listen to the logline for Savage Eye.
Okay.
This drama takes the form of a story told using documentary material as an intrinsic part of the narrative. In this journey, told through the dark side of 1950s urban life, the camera follows Judith, a newly divorced woman looking for a fresh start, through the streets of Los Angeles as she encounters a strange denizens, I don't even know how to say that, of the city, ranging from trendsetters to religious fanatics. All the tawdry and desperate faces of this world become a mirror for Judith's personal failures. Jesus Christ.
That sounds like it could be interesting.
Sounds
like
like
kind of like a mockumentary type of thing.
It almost sounds like Naked but women.
In the 50s.
Yeah, and
that'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess the only way to get it would be to rent it from UNLV.
Whatever you want to go with, dude.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, I was just looking at
You're good.
something.
I might.
Your choice.
It's between this, the Savage Eye, or Alice in the Cities.
The
Wim Wenders.
Oh, okay.
Between those ones, because Paris, Texas was so good. For some reason, whenever I think of Buffalo 66, it reminds me of Paris, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, even though they're totally... I guess it's just some of the energy behind it is similar, but Paris, Texas is such a...
They're both like road movies, if I'm not mistaken. Kinda?
A little.
A little.
Paris, Texas is definitely more of a road movie.
Okay.
Lilia forever.
Take your time.
Let me think about
We are in no rush. Choose wisely.
I'm wondering where we could find Alice in the Cities, because I know where I can get the Savage Eye. I can get it at the UNLV
Here, I'll look
library.
up Alice in the Cities. It might have a criterion for it.
Oh, cool! It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice.
For if you rent it for $4. Same guy, Wim Wenders. Okay, yeah.
Yes, there's a criterion for it.
I think I'll do this. Alice in the Cities.
You want to do Alice in the Cities?
Yeah, because I mean, Savage Eye looks cool, but I really like Paris, Texas.
Wim Wenders. Oh shit! It's part of a box set. He has like a road trilogy.
Oh, that's cool.
What are the other movies? Just out of curiosity.
Road trilogy.
Alice in the Cities, Wrong Move, King of the Roads, Kings of the Road. Okay. I'm not gonna buy the box set, but that's cool. If I like this, I might buy the box set.
Okay, now it's your turn.
So Alice in the Cities,
Alice in the Cities,
1974,
correct.
Wim Wenders.
Yes.
All right. So I was making a list, and because last time, like, you kind of like, I wanted to recommend Sid and Nancy, and then when we got to the recommendation part, I just like forgot about it, and I really wanted to talk about funny games. So I kind of saw it like 2 recommendations I made. So I made a long ass list. Here, pick something from there.
You want me to pick again?
Yeah.
All right.
And then it'll even it out.
Ooh, stalker.
And I mean, I'm cool with watching anything on there.
The 3 Colors trilogy.
Oh, we should do that for the trilogy.
Did you finish Rumblefish?
Not yet.
Oh, all right. Save that one.
When I do that, I'll
Freaks.
request
What's
it.
Freaks?
Freaks is that 1930s movie. Here, take your time. Just go see if anything pops to your head.
Elephant.
Some of the stuff I've seen, some of
Last
it I haven't.
Days. Oh, you got a lot of Gus Van Sant.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Days, Paradise Lost, Solaris, Mirror, Stalker, Mysterious Skin, Symbio, Psycho, Taxoplasm. I watched the first one.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought it was really interesting. I really liked the part. All right, so some parts I was really bored with.
Really?
But there were some parts where I was really engaged. Like anytime when all the actors were talking,
Oh, like in
together
the editing room.
in the editing room.
Yeah.
Those were really interesting.
They're like talking about like the philosophy of like being a director.
Yeah, the philosophy of like
Yeah.
in the philosophy of the whole project. That was really interesting.
They're kind of like, does he have a point? Does
Yeah,
it matter
yeah, I
if
really-
he has a point?
I liked hearing them chew
It's
on
so
it. Yeah.
cool.
And, like,
Yeah.
people would like really take over the conversation, like lead, and then it would change.
Yeah.
And then the last conversation with that dude in the park.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
It was like they used that footage as like the climax, and it was a good editing choice because
He
such an
was like
interesting-
he at first he seems like he might be kind of normal, and then you realize like this
Yeah.
is just like a hippie dude, like
Yeah.
straggler from that time.
I like that part. Both those
Yeah.
parts were really cool.
Yeah.
And it's not scripted. Like that's real conversation.
Yeah,
You know?
I like the whole thing, just like the whole idea of like filming a film that's being filmed.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
It's interesting. All right, let's see what else.
The second one, I don't like the second one as much.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw the
But
first one though.
Don't let that take it away from you. The first one's amazing though. I was like,
Oh,
holy
you have
shit.
Exterminating Angel in here?
Yeah.
It's like a good. It's basically like a Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Enter the Void, Persona, The Red Line, or Thin Red Line, The Tree of Life. That's one you said was like a tone poem, right?
Tree of Life's like a really cool tone poem.
Shame. What a cool. That's cool.
Shame. That's from Steve McQueen.
yeah.
Michael Fassbender's in it.
Lady
I want to see
Snowblood.
that. Somebody.
Y tu mama también. Fear and Loathing.
Oh yeah, I put that in there.
Where the Buffalo Roam. Give Me Shelter.
Do you know what Where the
Holocaust.
Buffalo Roam is?
Mm-mm.
That's based on a Hunter S. Thompson thing too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is it like when he was in a?
It's from the 80s. Like Bill Murray's in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I might that one. Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen footage of it and it looks really cool.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, I'll keep going. Give Me Shelter, Cannibal Holocaust, El Topo, Holy Mountain.
Cannibal
Psychomagic.
Holocaust would kind of suck.
Yeah, I feel like Cannibal Holocaust is such an easy choice because everybody's like,
Yeah.
it's so easy.
Yeah. I just
I've
put it on
never
there,
seen
but-
it, but I know the context of like what it means.
Have you heard
to-
about like the turtle part?
Nah.
Okay then.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I feel like Cannibal Holocaust is not like a movie I genuinely take with me. It would just be like a movie. It's like, all right, I've seen.
I almost feel like
Cannibal
it's like a
Holocaust.
10-minute discussion. It's like, yeah, that's pretty
Did you think it was
gross.
fucked up? Yeah. All right, Sid Nancy. Once Upon a Time in the West. Oh, you put Terrifier on here?
I want to talk about Terrifier at some point.
Didn't they make a sequel?
Yeah, they did. I haven't seen it yet.
Me
I don't
neither.
even know if it came out though.
I don't know either.
Maybe save Terrifier for like one of those movie nights or like Halloween time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Terrifiers are good Halloween. Crash, Mishima, Hardcore. That's a cool name.
Hardcore is from Paul Schrader. That's about like porn kind of.
Oh shit.
Sort of.
Suspiria, Demon Lover,
Oh, that movie. They just came out with like a restoration of it or something.
The Sweet Hereafter.
Demon Lover's about like porn too.
Inside. What's inside?
Ooh, Inside.
Yeah, what's that?
Look up the log line. The only problem, I've tried to buy this movie. There's not like a good DVD copy, and I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime. It's French. Inside.
Oh fuck.
You're good. Ember was telling me about this. It's like La
2007?
Interia. It's like 2007.
Okay, yeah. 4 months after the death of her husband, a woman on the brink of motherhood is tormented in her home by a strange woman who wants her unborn baby. Oh,
It's supposed to be
Interesting.
pretty violent.
Interesting. Sounds violent.
Yeah. Huh.
It's got a. I like the thumbnail for the trailer.
Yeah,
she
she looks like
really gross.
almost like a zombie kind
Yeah.
of.
Enemies. That's the Jake Gyllenhaal one, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I really want.
Have you seen
I've been wanting to see Enemy since I was like 13.
it looks cool.
I've still never watched
I've
it.
had it spoiled for me, but I think it'd be a good discussion either way.
Yeah, it's like a.
And I need to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I can't just have it spoiled and then not see it, you know what I mean?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You have Into the Wild on here.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
You haven't seen Into the Wild?
With the Sean Penn movie?
I'm pretty sure it's the dude. It's
Emil
about-
Hirsch.
Yeah, it's about Fuck! How the fuck did I forget?
It's about Alaska, right?
Alexander Supertramp.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I know Sean
Chris
Penn
McCandless.
directed
That's
it.
right. Yeah, I got really into this movie for like
Really?
a month
Oh,
or two.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
watched the movie and then I read the book.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's you know what it's about?
It's about like Alaska road trip.
Sort of.
I don't want to know anymore. I'm going to watch it either way.
Yeah, Into the Wild's a.
I know Sean Penn wrote and directed it too.
I don't know what I would think about it now because I think about the world way differently than how I thought about it back then.
Uh-huh.
But this movie really
Okay.
had me thinking about the world in a different way back in the day. But I feel like I moved past
That viewpoint.
that viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I moved past it. But
Either way.
it's a cool way to. I won't say it, but it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah. Uncle Boone.
Eddie Vedder did the soundtrack.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Uncle Boone Me.
Uncle Boone Me,
Who
who
can
can
recall
recall
his-
his past. It's interesting.
That won the Palme d'Or in 2010.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of about like reincarnation.
That's cool.
I thought about it because like you and me were.
Yeah,
were
we
talking,
were going
yeah.
back and forth on the egg. Lives or lives?
Lives. I
Lives.
don't remember why I put that down there.
And then Cure.
Oh, Cure's like a Japanese horror movie.
That sounds cool.
I almost feel though that might be like Perfect Blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read the log line. It's about like people who don't remember like committing murders.
Okay, so I'm torn between Elephant and where was it? Where the Buffalo Roam.
Okay,
Um,
I'll leave it up to you.
are you serious?
Go for it. Hunter S. Thompson or Gus Van Sant?
All right, I think it has to be Where the Buffalo Roam.
Go for it. Okay,
Because
that sounds good.
Because I know I'm gonna watch Elephant for sure either way.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I'm ever gonna return to Where the Buffalo Roam.
And like Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, and Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
I saw footage of some of the movie like a few months ago, and I was like, why have I never heard of this? Why is this?
I remember just like coming across it, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's like one of those movies you just come
Alright.
across. I've
Let me
only
see.
seen like a few scenes, not even scenes, just a few clips of it, really. And
even it. You're gonna watch Elephant at some point.
oh, for sure, yeah.
Even if like we don't, I wouldn't request it for the episode, but when you watch it, I want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Kind of like Buffalo 66.
I never heard of Elephant before I met you, so.
I remember
when
I
you
was
told
like-
me it's a you know it's a.
I really
it's a-
love
it's-
that movie.
When you told me it's like this kind of movie, I was like, oh, that's a movie I wanted to see.
And
for a
then
long
you were
time.
telling me about your sound project.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I always like that concept. I mean, I don't want to talk about it because I don't on the stream because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But so
just don't say what it is.
yeah, I'm not gonna say it. If you care about it, if you care about preserving that for yourself, then just go out and get the movie or.
Don't
watch
look up
online.
anything about it either. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
But when you told me what concept it was, I was like, I really want to.
Dude,
I've always thought about
was
that
so
concept
weird.
as a movie, and I want to see it on screen
So-
so bad.
I think the first time I saw Good Will Hunting was when I was like a sophomore, or junior in high school.
Uh-huh.
And then Gus Van Sant, like he directed, so I like looked up his other stuff, and I see Elephant, and then I see what it's about, and I'm like, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
And I fucking like the first time I watched it was like on YouTube on my fucking like
yeah,
2012 computer.
that sounds
I
about
fucking
right.
Chinatowned it, and then like, oh god, it's like in a way it's almost like funny games. Like you might have to see it. I appreciate it the more I watch it.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
told me
yeah.
it's done in a way that's really like
Different.
it's really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't not everybody's gonna
Whenever
like
you
it.
watch it, if it's like a week from now, if it's like a year from now, but
Mhm.
we'll talk about it
for
on
sure.
here.
Yeah, I know that's something that I'm definitely gonna watch.
Even if we talk about it for like, we have 2 other episodes. Like, let's take our time with that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like I'm really gonna look forward to talking about that one. Okay, so I think that's it. So we're
Oh,
doing.
yep.
We're doing. When did Where the Buffalo Roam come out?
Like 1980 or something. Here, I'll look it up really. I don't know who directed it. And then, do you know who Peter Boyle is?
No,
He's actually been in like some 1980, yeah.
I literally 1980. Yeah.
Directed by Art
And
Linson.
there's a bat on it. This is such a. That's such a.
With Backcountry.
Yeah, back. Whenever I think of Hunter S. Thompson,
Oh.
I think of Backcountry.
The guy who directed it produced Fight Club.
Oh no shit.
He was one of the producers at least.
Yeah, some of the pictures in this are.
Apparently though, like Frank Boyle, he was like in Taxi Driver, but he plays the grandpa in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh really?
And I'm like, I have a boner for that show, so
That's so funny. They got Bill Murray to play Hunter S. Thompson.
that movie's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard people don't like it, but like I don't trust what people say.
Me neither. No.
Yeah,
After watching Eyes Wide Shut,
Yeah, and people are just like, yeah, it's good.
I need to see some of his other movies, but I mean, like, to me, Eyes Wide Shut is like maybe in my top 5. You know.
Eyes Wide Shut, like out of all Kubrick's movies, I like relate to it the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, 2001, I don't think you can really relate to.
No, it's more like a concept
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Like, even funny games, you can't really like relate. Well, it makes you relate to it, but like the idea you don't like relate to it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like, dude, Eyes Wide Shut is such a.
the only other like movie like of Kubrick that I think you could relate to is maybe like Full Metal. The Shining, maybe Clockwork Orange. But that's like for a special type of person almost. Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I have a friend who's.
yeah.
I have a friend who's like his favorite movie is Clockwork Orange, and he's like he's definitely like a different individual.
Yeah.
you know?
You kind of have to be like wired for that.
Mhm.
And then all his other stuff like Doctor Strangelove, Lolita. I mean, if you're like a pedo, like,
Do you like Leon the Professional?
yeah. If you like Nicole or
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, yeah. So,
All right, so that's it.
all right,
That's
that
it
was a
for this
really
episode.
fun episode.
Yes,
That's up there with Eyes Wide Shut, fucking Mandy.
All right, so for the viewers, we're gonna watch Alice in the Cities, 1974, Wim Wenders, and Where the Buffalo Roam, 1980. I forget the director's
Art
name.
Linson.
Art Linson. There you go. Go ahead and watch those. I hope you enjoyed our discussion of funny games and Sid Nancy.
To the future people.
That's it. Yes, that's it. Stop shooting.
Okay, have a good night.
This is bad country.